A lot of people, they go like, why is it so dark in this room? This is dark. Darkness rises and light to meet it. It's Snoke, the Snoke is really good. I like it's even though he was like the dark side, the Snoke, but I like how he uses um, he understands, it's like it's not, it's not all about just the dark side. They know like the power, like it doesn't matter. Like he's gonna, just because they're part of the dark side, they know like that there's light, out there and light to meet it. Like you're. I know they gotta. It's so stupid. I wish they would have shown us some analogy, like where because that gash on Snoke's head, like I guarantee you, like Luke, that's from Luke Skywalker, of course. But they don't, as idiots at Disney, So I don't want to get off. I know the subject of what I wrote here, but I always like to put in things that are going on in my mind. It helps like things flow better. So the topic, okay, this kind of came to me. This is interesting. Um, I called it, equating chess ratings to your fighting ability. This is kind of an interesting way to look at it for like a guy that's trying to stand up for himself. To learn how to defend yourself. Um, Physically. Now we're talking physically now. On the chessboard, it's different. I'm a retired, chess player. Um, but there's rules, like you got everybody's got, you start with the same army, and it's like and I'm used to playing blitz, so it doesn't. Now there's people like there are people that knowingly or unknowingly can cheat. If you're playing a 3-minute game and stuff, they could try to move on your time before you hit the clock, and they want to win bad. They want to win bad, and but for the most part, like that's why they have a rating system because you could tell how strong is somebody. How's it's different when you talk chess strength because it's knowledge of everything. Like if you're playing a blitz game, they just it's instinctually it's like all right, I control this. You're not just pushing everything out there and going I don't know what I'm doing here, and that's where I'm going with this because what happened when those guys that anybody like if somebody comes at you like a nightclub or bar and they're getting mad, they're huffing and puffing, it means they probably know they're probably, and I'll explain exactly how I rate everybody, but they're probably like what I would call like maybe they're at least rated like a 300. What I mean is like that's like a real low. I mean it's they know what the pieces are, they know how to open, like you said, oh, well, get all your shit out there. And, but they move everything like, somebody real aggressive like this, they're so low, they don't know anything. They take their queen up, everything that's coming toward you, right? But they don't know how to use it efficiently. So that's like the guys that I'm talking about. Like they know the board, they know the pieces, and, just throw everything at them, but they're not throwing it. It's like they don't. They're throwing everything, but they don't know where it's good. It's they're putting everything out there in the open, and that's all you have to do is fucking if you're a little bit better, which if you're rated, let's say you're like close to 1,000, you're gonna kill them. What you're gonna do? They're gonna throw their queen out there like right there, and that's all you have to do is grab it. Like it's free. It's they don't know. They just think get him, but they don't know how to get him. They just know how to, it's a bluff. It's a bluff. That's the same thing. That's like, now I don't know those guys that, messed with me last week, whatever, earlier the week, you don't know, but I'm going to start equating this. Now, okay, like Bobby Fischer, Magnus Carlsen, world champion, like the best of the best, they're 20, or Kasparov, they what, 2,900 at one point, 2,875, what are the highest rated? There's no 3,000. But let's just say like Bruce Lee, is like, the Magnus Carlsen, the Bobby Fischer, like 2,900. He's the best. Now here's the thing. So everybody, anybody and everybody, who is involved like in self defense or actually just anybody, period, has a rating, right? Okay, so let's now again, it doesn't matter what art. Like if you're a boxing, let's say you're a boxing world champion. I don't care if you're lightweight, middleweight, and everything. You're like a 2900, 2850. You're like the best in the world at that. It doesn't matter. Like at any fighting, like martial arts, Gracie, whatever those guys, they're like the fucking 28s. They're the super grandmaster. They're world known. They're the top of the top of the top, right? So you got all those guys. It's like they're 2800s or 26, like a 2200. I mean, it would be like, may God help you. Like if you're that's somebody that could train you like they could beat 99.999% of people. Like if anybody comes out like that's trying to pick on them or something, it's like I said, it's like putting your hand in the circular fan. It's gone. Like all of a sudden you go like this, and your hand, this is broken, and you're hoping that like they don't kill you. If they feel like it, if they're really having a bad day, you're going to be sucking. You're going to be in the hospital sucking out of a straw. Like if you're lucky. I mean, that's like somebody of that power. Like but they say with great power comes a great responsibility. So like the most of the people that talk shit, the majority of them, they don't know. They're the 300. 300. Prepare for glory. The 300 that movie, but not the 300. They're not them. They're rated 300. If that, I'm giving them too much credit. Maybe they're rated 200. Maybe they're not even. It's a nothing. Like in chess, 1,000 would be like a talented beginner. So, somebody that's like, okay, so again, somebody that would be like 1,000. They probably, they're probably up there. Maybe they're like an orange belt or something. Now, maybe even, maybe even lower. Because 1,000 is like still you're more well aware of again, probably 80% of the entire population of people. You have to understand. Like, the problem is, well, you're going these places where you're looking for trouble. And I go, no, I'm not looking for trouble. I'm going out whenever I want to go out, at night, during the day. Like you figure, like a security guard, most of them would be probably about, they're like around a 1,200 or something, because like they're probably prepared, like they know, like they could take down, anything average or way below. So maybe they're even at 800. It doesn't matter, but like again, their ability is because they're not just standing there, even if they're big. They know, like somebody, like you get into an altercation. I said, I got to be able to subdue somebody. I got to be able to know how to hold somebody down. Now, the thing is, you try it like any of the security guard, like, anybody that's, well studied. There's no, you're not gonna, it's the circular saw. I don't care. Like that security guy, if he really, really was, the fucking way better, he wouldn't be standing out there, putting, it's like they need money, they're hurting, they kind of, I mean, it's possible like a security guy could be like, a former thing, but more than likely, no, he's using just size intimidation stuff. And he knows like, okay, most guys are going to be drunk, or if they're talking shit, he's going on average, look, but unfortunately, I'm not the average, because I'm not there to drink. I'm not there to cause trouble. But I'm there to defend myself. So like it's like I'm that anomaly. Like and again, and a guy that's like going to be fearless and going to go try to talk to women. It doesn't matter if with the guy. It's like there's not many. There are people like that. I mean, but they're considered. Most people say you're borderline. What you're doing, you're looking for trouble. It's like, I'm looking for trouble. Okay, let me get to let me try to explain something to you and people. Like, this is important because I have a friend, he's a good guy and everything, but he's like it's a submissive. He's a cream puff, like, and the thing is, he's scared. He's scared of life, what it does, it snowballs into every facet of your life, like it doesn't say, I know what I'm saying is like, oh, you could go up to a woman and shoot the guys. You don't get it. It's the equation of everything out of life that your your limiting beliefs of fear. It leads into it infects all parts. It's like a cancer or something. It's like you have to fucking kill it. You have to get it out of there. Get it out of there before it spreads, and it does. I'm telling you, it's like, well, no, I'm not scared of anything else, but like when it comes to like other guys and and then when you don't get it because you're watching the movies and you're seeing like or you're pre-programmed, because of either your parents told you or whatever, like you don't understand. It's not that you're challenging a societal belief that says you can't do something. If it was really something that you couldn't do, there'd be a law against it. Okay, that's my point of all of this. Like you're doing something a little abnormal, and society is like looking at you weird, and you're freaking. You're just like, I don't want to stand out. I don't want to stand out. Do you know like most people that made history and stuff like that, they stood out. They took chances. The Rosa Parks, like come on, the black lady. She stood up on the bus. They said bus driver goes, they didn't even have to say that was the way it was. They had to go sit in the back of the bus, and she said, "No, fuck no, I'm not going to." And it was like that. She took a stand, and the guy is like, just the bus driver is like, what? Like the shock of or whatever. I don't know if the bus driver said, but that bus is like in a museum or something. It's just fucking it's named after places named after her. Everybody knows her name because of what she did in a positive way. That's the thing. Like, unfortunately, there's people that have done awful things that their names are known. Like, and it doesn't. But they're forgotten. Like they're part. I know they're part of history, but they're not. They're not an influential part of history. Not fucking Gandhi, and they're not like Mother Teresa. They're definitely not like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr. People like that are in the annals of history like that stood up or took a stand. What was that the little kid or something at Tiananmen Square? You see them. It's like a famous every whenever like 30th, 50th anniversary. That little kid that held the ground and something. That tank is coming. Tank is coming. And that kid is standing there like no, you're not coming. I'm holding my ground. That's what this is all about. This is what this is all about, is holding your ground. That kid, you're in the way. The tank is coming. The kid goes, no, it's not coming. If it's coming, it's going over me. It's going to kill me. But you know what? I'm going to make a stand. And because he was doing the right thing, he felt it in his heart. He was doing the right thing or whatever. And that's what all these people did. They knew that change was irrelevant. Like it had to happen. Like they're taking a stand. They're sacrificing if need be. And that's when my friends go to me. They go, "You're gonna get killed out there. They're gonna stab you. They're gonna shoot you." And I said, "Fine. That's okay. If that happens, it happens. But you know what? You are allowing because you're allowing the fear to crush you. That you're letting these guys intimidate you. Whatever it is. Let me give you an example. So, like last week, I lived by. There's this. Didn't live by. It's about whatever half a mile. It doesn't matter. It's a place called Poppy. It's a high end nightclub, bars, bottle service. It's very. You can't. Unless you're like a celebrity or something. And I see all these cars. Now the thing is, it's like right off the sidewalk. They have the ropes. The velvet rope thing. And there's like this big Samoan guy out there. And the thing is that, and then like, see, there's not much room. Like it's like from there you got to go in. Like it's not like the kind of building where there's a lot of space. There's the sidewalk, and then literally there's like a step up to the rope to go into the club. Now, right off the sidewalk, there's like the parking valets right there. It's very poorly designed for it to be like a nightclub, but it's open a couple times out of the week. So the thing is, because it's so close to me, what I would do is I would try my warrior mentality there. Like if I really saw what I like, I could move right in. So what happened was, like a week ago, like I went, and there were two chicks out there. One of them was really fucked up. Like I think she was so fucked up. She was sitting in the curb. She was sitting. I can't. I gotta be honest with you. I just like she's a great body. Like but actually I didn't. people like to size you up and typecast. You're looking to take advantage. You're looking at. I don't know. I don't know. I felt attracted. I don't know. But the other girl, like, I said, hey, is she okay? Like, I didn't, I wasn't like, on, everything. No, like, I was kind of more concerned, kind of thing. And I figured, why not? Like, just get involved if you feel like it. Again, I think any communication is better than no communication. So what happened? So the other girl's like fucked up, and the other one, she's like, the other one just get the fuck away from here, like get the. And so I'm like, I know I didn't show that shock when it, but like when she said that, I said, you don't tell me where to go. You get out of here, like the commands, the command of domination. Like it doesn't work on me. Who's it? The Gandalf? I didn't see the movie, but that's the guy. The guy goes, "You have no power here." The guy. Like, and then he takes out the thing and the power, but it doesn't matter. What my point is, what she's the commands, the power, like, go away. And I says, who? No, I will not go away. And this is a big problem because I get this a lot. I get this a lot from the people. Like, and now again, there's a difference between encroaching somebody's space and then you kind of being in the close vicinity of trying to do the pickup thing. Like, and when they, I get very defensive and assertive when someone tells me, go away, keep walking, keep going, keep going. You have no power here. You don't. I'm on a public sidewalk. I tell them that it's not going to happen. I'm going to stay here till the end of time, if I want. And this is where the security guy comes in, the big Samoan guy and stuff. He he sees, like, or he, this is maybe 40. I can't gauge distance, 30 yards. I don't know, but he takes his camera phone. He's got like a light on or a flashlight, something. He kind of like flags it on me, like I'm on private property or something. Like I'm on. He doesn't understand who you're dealing with here. You're dealing with an expert, in guerrilla warfare. Like what did Colonel Troutman said that to, that idiot, that the cop, the sheriff of in First Blood. Think about that. Remember what he goes? He goes. Brian Dennehy, the cop of the sheriff of the small town. It's like, John Rambo. Like he's a fucking killer. He just buys. That's all he's doing. He's passing through. He's not trying to hurt anybody. He's not doing anything wrong. He's a guy, Congressional Medal of Honor, Vietnam veteran, a war hero, right? And you're gonna fuck with him. Like you're gonna. I know it's a movie, but like there's truth, like I say, in movies. So what happens? The John Rambo thing. He's minding. He's just going through, like, and I think he's hungry or something. He wants to get something to eat. He's a proud American and stuff. He's got. I remember. I see his jacket. He had like the flag there. And the guy, the sheriff, the Brian Denny says, son, we don't want your kind around here. You mean trouble. And he's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to. I don't know what the whole thing is. But he's going where he wants to go. He needs to go through. He needs to get through that town. Wherever he's going. If he's a nomad or wanderer, but he's utilizing his freedom. It's not. He's allowed to. That's his thing. Like you're allowed to do it. He's not breaking any law. He's But according to that sheriff guy, you're doing something wrong. We don't want you here. Like he knows, the sheriff guy knows it's a small town. He knows everybody in the town, and this guy, like for whatever reason, could be nothing but trouble. But he's a different. He's an anomaly. But he's not trouble. But that sheriff is narrow-minded. And he's sticking to his thing. He says whoever trained him, like says, he just wasn't prepared, mature for like some guy. Now he again, he doesn't mean any harm. He's not doing anything wrong. It's kind of like me. You're not doing anything wrong. Don't mean any harm. Standing out there, maybe trying to talk to women to build confidence or something. But that Samoan guy, that security guard, is like that sheriff, and so like I'm going through, and I'm going through, and he puts the flashlight on me. He's like, "Hey, move along, out of my town, out of my town." And I'm like holding my ground, like Rambo did, like it's only he held his ground. He goes, what's the problem? And he goes, and he's like, that flashlight's like saying, so what happened? What happened? The security guard came out of the rope to, into the public sidewalk, and he's coming to me now. He's approaching me now. Again, I'm maybe 30, 40 feet away. I'm being generous, maybe 50 feet away. I'm a good distance away from their entrance. I'm on the public sidewalk away from the girls there. And he's like, becomes like daddy, like he's coming to like, I know this guy's big, like I know he's using the tactics of intimidation, of size and everything. He's rated, like in my mind, it's like, okay, well, he's like probably, these guys, again, they could be rated 800 or something, in my mind, I'm using that analogy, he could, if he gets what Bruce Lee said, it's no man's land. Okay, no man's land is where, I don't care. You cannot reach the person, with your arm's length, your fist, or your feet. So they're out of your range. It's called no man's land. So as long as somebody's like, I don't care. Like if they're not in my no man's land, like even, I forget how wide it is. It's maybe like 8 feet or something. Then like there's nothing they can do. Like if they run after you, and that's a different story. But I'm well aware of the space difference. So this guy, now he wasn't coming at me mad like this. He was coming at me casually. But I don't care. Somebody like a big Samoan guy, like the head of a security, like he's not brand new, like I can assure you, like that's, he's going to make his presence known. And if he gets within grabbing distance of you, if you get into an altercation, like it's like, unless you have the circular saw, I don't care, like if that master guy, that Samoan guy, it'll be the hospital or be Forest Lawn, like it depends how that guy, how his dinner was, how that, the master depends, like if he's in a bad mood or not, like it's up to him at that point. But can you imagine, like, the Samoan guy is basically, he's walking, he doesn't realize, if there's like a real master there, like he's walking into the woodcutter, like he's putting, God help him, if he puts his hand in that woodcutter, it's gone, like bam, like, and it's like, I didn't see it coming. That's the beauty of fighting, like like if you see, like, if you're standing next to like you see like a circular whatever, like a chainsaw going, you see it going, what it could do, like, what it could do. You put your hand in there, it's going to be gone, like the wood machine is going to come out, it's not going to be there anymore. The thing about fighting, like in self-defense, it's kind of like the unknown, like, you're putting, it's like, I've seen that thing, like there's like a box and you can't, like, you don't know what's inside of the box, and they have this thing where, like, they blindfold you or whatever, you put your hand in there to feel what it is. Can you, like, can you imagine if somebody says, you put your hand in there, like, and see what it is? What are you going to say? He goes, I don't know. I'm not going to put my hand in there. Well, why? Why not? You don't know what's in there. And he says, because it could be fucking anything. I said, what could it be? What could be in that box? And it says it could be fucking a scorpion in there. It could be something that could fucking kill you. Like you put your hand in that box, you don't see what's in it. You don't know. Like it's kind of like, because he's in his logic, in his mind, he's thinking, well, like I'm rated like an 800, so the odds of like this guy being like a fucking 2200 is very little, because there's so few in compared to how many people would come to a nightclub, and try to talk to women and stuff. He's, I'm pretty confident I can take him, like there's no, but let me tell you something. May God help you, because when I get really, really good, and somebody crosses the line, they're going to be putting their hand into that wood because they're going to put their hand in that unknown box, and what's going to happen is they're going to assume they're, or that they don't know, like the guy is thinking, that, I'm like an 800. Again, I know how to, I've got some decent, I understand how the pieces move. I can set up some basic strategy here. Like I know I can get my knight there maybe in 3 moves, but somebody stronger than you, they go, dude, I see everything that you're doing, and I know more, and a lot more, and that lot more is gonna cost you. And in the chess game of fighting, it equates to pain. It equates to possible unconsciousness and a free ambulance ride to the hospital. Like it's. I know I laugh about it. It's funny, but it's true. It's true because in chess, yeah, you lose, you feel embarrassed, like you're like your ego is like, God, you beat me. Or you lose rating points too. Like I remember in books, some of them equate to losing quarts of blood or something. Like if you lose a big thing in a lot, in fighting, it's kind of the same thing. You could lose some blood, like if you're a weak player and you think you're better than you are, and you go ahead and you challenge at 2200. I've done it before. And I thought, like, like I'm, around about 1500. I said, I play real aggressive. I'm gonna play real aggressive. Like, look, a 1500, like, understands the game. Like, understands. You don't understand. A 2200 is the fucking circular saw. You're gonna go in there, and that circular, that thing is gonna fucking cut you up. It's gonna fucking after a little while, you're gonna wind up in the fucking. You're gonna be dead. You're gonna be in the fucking hospital. You challenge something that's way beyond your capabilities. Like it's not how you get better. People don't understand that. They think like, oh, you get better by playing other people. You do, but you don't. You get better by building your skill, by your studying, by like going over games, analyzing, getting a better rating. You're 1500 and you go ahead and you play at 2200. You're not going to beat them, okay? And you're not going to learn anything, because you're not going to really, like, you're not going to become a better fighter, like, because it doesn't matter. You're not going to take the master's power from him. That's my point of all of this. Like, you don't understand. You are where you are. You're standing. You're ranking. You're ranking as you're standing. Like where you sit when it comes to like fighting and defending yourself and everything. So this is where it gets into. I'm talking about like everybody has a rating. So somebody that's like, okay, so those guys, I don't know because they didn't throw a punch or anything. There was no, and I didn't combat. But again, I practice. I don't, these people say, oh, my friend goes, take karate. And he says, look, when I was 12, I took Shotokan when I was young. And again, I told you, I made the yellow belt kata, after the white, and I was ready to go. Now, this is what I remember. Now I did get this over with and move on, to why I don't, the classes, most people, nobody's lived your life, okay? Nobody knows what you've gone through. If you were bullied in school, bullied recently, I don't know. Like most adults don't go around bullying. It's a childlike thing that they do. That's an infantile thing. If you grow out of it, what's the point? I got to make a living. I don't have time to go around bullying people. But there's people that can be hostile, aggressive. You don't know. Makes you into who you are, unfortunately, like I've never in my life, I've never, my assertiveness and, the way that I come off, it sounds kind of angry, but it's not, it's passion, that it sounds like my assertiveness may come off to some as being a bully, but it's not. I never tell somebody, get out of here. That's commanding. That's bullying me. You're telling me what to do. Don't look at me. You're commanding. You're telling me what to do. Why? I have no business telling somebody don't look at me. What do you mean? I can't tell somebody not to look at me. They can look wherever they want. So you're bullying me if you're telling me don't looking at me. Get out of here. You're bullying me. You're trying to bully me, and it's unaccepted. It's not right. Okay. And somebody's you're gonna say it to the wrong person, and guess who that wrong person is? Me. I'm not gonna take it. I'm not going to stand there. I have a friend, he's a good guy, but he's a cream puff, like he'll do whatever anybody tells him to do. He does it. No questions asked. He's just I mean, I told you about the cop story where he had headed down and the cop goes, oh, turn your head. Don't look at what we do to that guy. This is not Nazi Germany. Yes, this is America. You don't have to. If you're not, it's not, you're not breaking the law. If a police tells you, like, look, again, most cops, they're honest, they're sworn to duty, like a sheriff or something, they swear to oath and stuff. But unfortunately, there's bad ones out there. I've had some bad mistakes where I was just crossing the street. I wound up in the back of the car. I'll share that story. Nothing. I wasn't doing anything. I'm just walking across. But I was taking my own safety into initiative. The cop didn't understand that. From the cop's perspective, he's like, "You walked in front of my car. You walked in front of my car. What are you doing?" So to this day, I'm kind of traumatized now. Every time, I remember I was trying to cross. I saw a police car pulls up, and I says the light didn't, even though it didn't turn green. I mean, the green came on, but not the hand, that says walk. The guy, it shows in green walking. It didn't have that. So like I said to myself, every time I walk in a police car, I'm going to wind up in the back in it. So I was like traumatized, like I waited. I went around, they have guns, you know what I mean? It's their show. However, if they go beyond, their authority, like my friend, they tell them, hey, don't look, move your head. Then all of a sudden, now you're taking it to like a level of like, unfortunately, like Nazi Germany, where like the Gestapo kind of tell you, as a human being how to act, and that's where I fucking stand up for myself. Okay, my cream puff friend, he didn't. Okay, like he can't, he doesn't understand. I know they have guns and everything, but you know what? I'm telling you, it's better to stand. It's to die on your feet than to serve on your knees. My grandparents went through the fucking concentration camps. Okay, they're fucking, to me, they're the warriors, the survivors, are the fucking the strongest warriors of all. Like they went through that fucking shit. Okay, and you don't want to have that here. You want America turning into that? It's not going to happen here. Well, let me tell you something. I got news for you. Everything changes. Everything changes, no matter whether you like it or not. Everything, rules change. You can look up your history, and don't the blacks were slaves a couple hundred years ago. Like, if you told people like 60 years ago the people weren't allowed to do this, they would say, "What?" Like, what are you talking about? I'm a free like everybody else. And I said, well, just look, it's only 60 years ago. They're not allowed to do that. They're not. There was somebody, like, I forget, it was a woman wasn't allowed to run a marathon or something. I forget, it was like a bus marathon. She took a stand. He goes, what do you mean I can't run a marathon? No, I'm allowed to. She took a stand. I forgot. I should know the name, but I know the guy Bannister, whatever, he broke the 4 minute mile, the first guy. And then they thought it was impossible. So nobody can break a 4 minute mile, and it can't be done. It can't be done. And he went ahead, and Bannister broke it, the 4 minute barrier. And then guess what happened? All these other people started to do it because it's fucking, like they didn't think it was possible. But he did it first. He knew. He's the not the leader, but the visionary, that said, why? Who says I can't? Is there a law? The law says you can't run under a 4 minute mile. He said he challenged. He said, why not? So the whole thing again. So if there's no law, and you feel morally you're doing the right thing. It's like a Thomas Paine had a book, Common Sense, or something like that. I didn't read, but my point is that you allow people like those girls to tell me, get out of here. I didn't, and you don't challenge, you just allow to be a cream puff. It just snowballs to, you're going to get out of here alive of everything. Whatever, it's like a business deal or anything, or a college class or something. In a way, I call it like turbulence and the resistance or the pothole. If you're driving, you ever get like a pothole? I don't drive, but the pothole. I've been in the car, of course, and boom, whoa, and then it gets back on the course. It's like, what the fuck happened? You didn't see there's a pothole. Your car went through it, and it's not fun. It's uncomfortable. But what happened? What I just said. Your car made it through it to get to your destination. It's not like you're driving and there's like a barrier and it says, and there's like a ditch like that you can't get through, like Grand Canyon, like with a Thelma and Louise, the car goes over the cliff, um, that's suicide. You see, but I've seen people go around, a little bit of thing. It says, I got to get to where I need to go here. This can be done. It's a little abnormal, but it's really important. Like it's something that, within reason. So like turbulence, the plane is flying. Let's say you're flying, whatever, LA to New York or whatever, and you're going, and the captain, they know. They said, so we're gonna experiment, like when getting over a certain period. We're flying to Las Vegas or something. I'll use something I can relate to, and you're flying. It's like, it's like, we come into the Las Vegas area, we're going to experience a little bit of turbulence. Be prepared, ding, put on a seatbelt, whatever. They know it's coming because the desert winds are going, so you're desert wind Amtrak, so they used to have the trains. They don't have the trains going to Vegas anymore, so it's you don't have a choice. You either fly, take the bus, or drive. It's cool if they had a train, but I don't want to get too off topic, which I always do. But my point about the turbulence. So the thing is, and then the plane starts shaking, right? Like, whoa, a little bit. You're like, fuck, and so I start getting scared, because I've seen in the movies, was it Airplane? No, that's a comedy, but there's that movie, in movies where, the fucking the plane goes down, airport or whatever, so, gone, everybody's dead, and so that's what you start thinking. You feel the turbulence, you go, and then they make jokes about it, like in Seinfeld, that one, they're all, just the way I just want to tell you, like that, and then the plane, like, the engine kicks in, they're fine, and almost said something like that, that you're hoping like he opens up, he says something that you've never heard before, and it's not wouldn't have been anything that beyond extraordinary anyway, it's like so stupid, these shows. Ironically, I remember I saw like Larry David at that place that Poppy used to be, STK. I remember went in there and, great writer, he's the status, it's women. I remember I saw like just women. They didn't wait for opening. There was one day like warrior mentality. He's sitting at a booth. There's a round booth, and I know he's sitting there with the executives or something. I could tell, like these guys. And I was standing, like back then they were playing some good music, so I was dancing, and I speak fluent Yiddish, so I thought, oh, maybe I could tell him I could do Yiddish comedy, try a powerful person, and so I couldn't even, I'm trying to get to him and say, hey, and he's like busy talking, and so he's sitting on toward the end, but there's like just about on his end of his booth, there's about this much space, and this woman I saw, she just scooted her, I guarantee she wasn't with him. She just sat there and she just moved in like I'm here kind of thing. I could tell, and he was like a little shocked for a second. She was a decent looking woman, and everything, but she was using like female warrior tactics, like hey, I'm in, I'm trying, I'm in, I'm going for it. I guess women gets a little bit more carte blanche because a woman is taken to be like you're allowed, like a woman's allowed to be a more aggressive. It's just an accepted way of society. Like most women aren't. I can tell you in my 47 years of breathing and existing on this planet, how many women, real ones anyway, that would come up to you and say, hey, like listen, can we just, I would love for you to like, fuck me, like everything you got, I please, I mean, it almost, it would be something out of like a movie. It doesn't happen. I mean, now if you're powerful, the more powerful you are in status in society, like, I mean, I remember I was standing outside of Bootsy Bellows on Sunset, another very high end invitation only, which ironically I was inside a couple of times because once a year they have a Jewish singles event on like Christmas Eve. It's supposed to be for Jewish singles, and of course, you go to this thing and it's all there's some good women. They all bring their girlfriends, and there's all these guys, and it's the absolute. You think, it's a great singles. This is what what I would you'd think this would be the ultimate chance. The ultimate. There is no better. Like you would think. But I went to this thing like 7-8 years in a row. Like they had a House of Blues and they moved Bootsy Bells, and I never even got a phone number. I never even met anybody. I mean, I remember. Well, you talking to me? You trying to approach it? Of course. Like they're again. But I told you when they go in clusters for the most part, they go with all their friends, and what happens is their friends, even at a place like a single, you would think it's a singles mixer. That's what's supposed to happen. And now they're not. I didn't get like the go away now. You didn't get that, but you would get these real kind of more like kind of sincere kind of like go aways. And I'm standing there. I go, well, then what the fuck are you here for? Like, there's like a mother hen in there too, almost. Like, you fucking, because what you're doing, if there's a group of two or more, a group is three or more. I'm sorry, a group of a certain amount of women, and you're going in there by yourself. You're upsetting the delicate balance of what's they're used to. Okay, what happens if there's a group of these three women together and they're all friends and they're going like this, right? And here comes Warrior Junior, right? And it's like this one that's going like this, right? Is saying, hey, where's this? Like where's this? You're in the way. Warrior Junior. You're what? Hey, me. He said, yeah, you right there. And what's the problem? I'm talking to this right here. It's like, hey, you, out. No. Yeah, I'm talking to, I'm trying to talk to this. But I'm right here, like I'm, and this is getting mad, this is like, getting upset. What? Like, and this is going, and, I'm trying to, do you see the problem here? I'm in the way. They're like they're used to this, and all of a sudden I'm here. Yeah, I like this one. She's hot. She's big. She's this one I don't really like. I'm trying to be nice to her too, but this one is like like what? It's ridiculous. They're not going to help you. They're not on. And what sucks is that one probably, if she was by herself, this one, it'd be, all right. You would get, like you might get the grand prize. Like you might the warrior might prevail. Like that's the goal, the dream. But they self-sabotage them, not by going with their friends, but by not having any their jealousy of their thing. They get all dressed up. They go to a singles event, groups, like even like let's say two women or more. You don't. Well, why? I asked, and I said, well, why don't these women come by themselves to these singles things? They're scared. They're scared. Scared. They're not scared to tell me get the fuck out of here. They're not telling me to, they're not scared. Believe me, they're not scared. Okay, they're scared that you're gonna ruin what they're used to. You're changing the dynamic by you getting in there. Like you're because again they're used to the same thing, and everything changes. I mean, what's that stupid show? It's kind of funny. Friends. I hope they're going, something's be the same. If life is going something and things are gonna be great, it's always like you're always in the second gear when it's not even your day or month or week or possibly your year, but I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you when the snowball starts to come. I'll be there for you because you're there for me too. Bam, bam, down, 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 down. These are the Rembrandts, So it's a Jesus. I mean, now, and so what happened in the show? It went like, the right, it kept going, and they're all friends. Like, and this is a problem because, like, those shows in the 90s, and everybody's watching this show, and they go, this is a great show. And people are watching this. And when I started watching this, I'm saying to myself, there seems to be a problem here. I guarantee you nobody would know what that line comes from. I'll do it again. I said I was watching a show, right? But here's the line. He goes, there seems to be a problem here. If you know where that's from, I will, put your comments down below, like, or comments. If you can guess where that's from, I will give you a prize. Okay. How's that? Because I guarantee you do not know where that line comes from. I will tell you in a little while where that line comes from. Anyway, so I'm watching the show and I'm seeing the characters. Now, most people, when they watch TV shows and comedy, they just need a laugh. They need to get their mind off of entertainment. But like I took a little drama at Cal State Dominguez Hills. Like started studying. Like I wanted to get into the entertain. Again, I featured on some TV shows. So like I said, maybe I got a chance at this. Maybe a little confidence, but it doesn't matter what you want. You got to be that producer's got to see something in you. Like George Lucas saw it in Harrison Ford. He was a carpenter, but American Graffiti before. But look at Han Solo. He's got the carpenter belt. And he's running around with the blaster in there. It built him like a comfort. Comfort in the role makes it flow easy, makes it more natural. Like that's the producer. So when they look at me, a lot of these guys said, "Well, you look like a banker, that Woody Allen. You look like a." I don't got a problem with that. Like you're gonna fucking make me a star and like make me, but I want to be. I want to be like an influential kind of person where like not just a clown. People like you stupid. Look at you stupid, like a idiot. But because with the victor goes the spoils. They put you on television. Could be typecast. You look at Gilligan. But everybody knows Bob Denver. It's only one Gilligan. That's it. There's only one Luke Skywalker. That's it. And it's the most famous thing. I mean, it's like you're going around. It's like royalty. Can you imagine? Like you sign something, it's worth money. You never go hungry. It has value. You can use that value to buy a house or something. You could buy gold. Like it's power. The women, they'll come to you. You get whatever you want. It's like so what? You could ask for who could ask for anything more? Toyota. I think it was. I'm sorry. There was a saying. There was a song. It goes, "Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more?" I said, "I can." All right. So like, who could? What a feeling, Toyota. Like it's jacking off or something at the end. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota. They came up with, the you could ask for anything more. I'll look it up and see if that's where the saying comes from. Okay, so about Friends. But first, I'm going to tell you where that, because I know you're curious about that. That you're not never in this lifetime going to figure out was I think we have a problem here. And the reason I say this as an older guy, it's okay. Again, if you guys know me, like I'm a big fan of breakdancing. Like I put in so much time, and I told you the influence at Shabadoo, Boogaloo Shrimp, Taco, guys, and we breaking. They basically that is like my foundation of like my passions for everything. Like of dancing. It's incredible times. And it's supposed to be like a street dance revolution or something. But in the movie Breaking, the first one, when they go to the audition at the end, they all dress up in tuxes and they go out because it's the only way. It's we're looking for some very talented jazz dancers, and it's not for that. It's not. But special case, Ozone and Turbo and their manager, Chris McDonald, Christopher McDonald, who played the manager. He's got to get you into that audition. Got to get you in there. Like he's passionate. He showed them, those dancers, the street dancers. They showed them their passion. He said, I like as an agent, he says, I'm going to get these people in there. Like he, understood. Very, very rare that somebody would get it. Most agents wouldn't, how many agents I try to reach out to? Not one agent would give me a chance. Okay. I've tried it. You don't, I could spend, you think I spend time doing this? I could go through, it would be to the end of time, the end of how long you could record to tell you how hard I've tried for some, and they don't want me for whatever reason. And, and again, I'm not giving up, but that's nor here nor there. I think we have a problem here. So the next act, the act is going like this Broadway kind of production, with the Nemesis guy. He's like a little, I know his name's Ben Loki. He's an actor now, but he's a very talented jazz dancer. You should see. Remember, if you watch the movie Breaking, when Special K takes the class at the end, and he takes out, they played a kind of like this ballet jazz music, and he takes off like this jacket like slowly, and then he starts like doing his jazz move like real, and it's like a Barishnikov model-esque of just like real the flow like that. I don't dance that way, but he does, and it's really is talent. It's talent. And then what he does at the end, he jumps up and he does like a triple axel or something. But it's not ice skating, but this aerial spin, like bam, and lands solid. And you're just like, dude, this guy's fucking for real. Like and he goes and he talks as he goes. He goes, these kids don't know what it takes. And he's like, and then special kids like, you should see them dance though. Like you. And he's just like, I don't know if it's a jealousy or it's a narrow-mindedness of not liking or anything, or you don't know. I doesn't think he's a racist or something, but he's like just, they're they're like against me kind of thing. I don't care for them. They're just part of the problem. Kind of, I don't know. But the point was, so he's doing the performance, and the judges are like, bravo, bravo, that guy. And so then they're done, and then next act, please. And then Special K, Shabadoo, and he's a real name, Turbo and Ozone. They all come out, and they're dressed like a kind of like, and the guys are like, okay, well, it's going to be like a jazz performance, and then like right before they're going to start, the Ben Loki guy, the Nemesis, goes up to that judge, that old guy, and whispers something in his ear, like, and then like the Nemesis walks out, and the judge goes, there seems to be a problem here. Like that's the reason that I use that line. I use that line because when I saw something that started to sink in my mind, that that kind of like when I watched Friends, I saw the problem here. Now, here's the problem. Do you think you can figure it out without me telling you? I want you to think about this. What is the problem with that show from the warrior mindset, from a guy's perspective? Think about this for a second. I wish I had like the Jeopardy music for you to play, like the 30 seconds. I'll give you a little time. Think about this, or pause this. I mean, even though this is live, I want you to archive this, and I want you to think about this. What is the problem with the show Friends from a man's a warrior perspective? Okay. Well, I don't know. Okay, so there's like there's the guys. There's Ross. There's the Joey, and there's the whatever the Matthew Perry guy, Taylor. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter his name. It doesn't. There's the three guys, and there's the three girls. There's the Lisa Kudrow. The Courtney Cox, and the other one, the leader, the leader, the. Okay, whatever. She's famous now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what her name is. Okay, come to me, whatever. But it's okay. So you've got the women, you got the guys, and everything. What's going on here? They're all friends. What? Huh? What do you mean? They're and then they're dating other people. Like, huh? Well, why are they hanging out together? Well, because that's what friends do. Who came up with this? Who gay? I mean, it's like, the guys, they're not homosexual. They're not. They're going out with other women, but they're spending all that time with these women. That why? What's going on here? This doesn't make any sense. What do you mean doesn't make any sense? Are you hang around hot women that you don't want to fuck? Is it normal to you? Are you stupid? I have this thing like, in between my legs, like what happens is when I'm around women that I talk to, that I'm interested in, it gets hard. Okay. And then I want to use it on them, because that's like how we got here. If you look at the species evolution, it's called procreation. It's called sex. I don't know if you ever heard about it, but apparently whoever came up with this show, Bright, Kaufman, and Crane, whatever these producers are, they don't know what I'm talking about here. They don't have a clue of what I'm talking. They said, well, no. We did friends. They just hang out with each other. You never had just a girl you just hang out with and talk with. He said that you just as a normal kind of like a guy. And I said, No, I don't. Okay? No, I don't. Because women are not men. Women are not guys. Okay? I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to like, educate you with this incredible knowledge that has never been spoken before. That women are not men. I have news for you. I don't know like who told you this. I don't know how, like I wonder like these producers of this show, like this Brett Kaufman, Bright and Crane, like, I think they're the producers. They can you imagine the pitch meeting? The pitch meeting with them and NBC or whatever, these executives is ironically my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend, she dated like one of the guys, the president of NBC or something. I forgot his name. She talked about him before. It's like, can you imagine a guy like me? I could get that girl. She could suck me. That guy's rich, and I'm nothing, and I had her on me. Like it's great. It's I don't know. It's lucky, but okay. So says he's being cast for some show or something. I don't know. Josh says the name. We'll see. I don't care. Okay, so here's the pitch meeting. Like these three people, they're coming in, and and this guy, I guess he's a president of programming at NBC, and can you imagine these people going, okay, so, well, tell me a little bit, what's the show's called Friends, right? Yeah, okay, so what there is we got like, there's six friends, and okay, and the six friends, there's like three guys and three girls, and they're fairly the women, they're like, fairly attractive, and one of them is kind of like the airhead, kind of bubbly, like then the one is like kind of like a they're New Yorkish, kind of like Jennifer Aniston, Rachel. Okay, see, I remember it took me a while, but I get, and she's kind of pretty, and then there's like that, and then there's like the black haired one, the Courtney Cox. They're all like in good shape. They're pretty women. And then there's these three guys. You got the Ross. He's kind of like a Jewish looking, kind of like a conservative kind of guy. Not really dopey. He's just kind of a guy. And then you've got like the Chandler. Chandler, he's like a little bit of a character himself. He's a Chandler, whatever. It's a normal kind of guy. And then you got like this Joey guy. He's like a New Yorkish kind of like a jokester kind of guy and stuff like that. Yeah, whatever you say. And they all get along. They're friends. And there's three and there's three. And so okay, so they're all friends there, and then it's about life experiences and stuff. And I could imagine, like, if I was the president of NBC, I'm sitting there, and I would be like, um, there seems to be a problem here, So they're just, what do you mean? They're not horny for them. Are they not real men? I mean, why are you just gonna hang out with these women that are beautiful and they're not gonna want to fuck them? Like it's what kind of what is this? What is this? And he goes, well, this is like not everybody they hang out with women. They want to have sex with them. They're their friends. And the guy's saying, well, I don't. This is huh. I guess this is television. It's make believe. So this is not reality here. We're not talking about reality. So this is very interesting. So yeah. So okay. So I like this. I'm thinking because this is something that it sounds ridiculous in normal society. Therefore, it could be on television. Like this is the psychological a warped thinking that like this guy from NBC, like this guy that has this vision. This is what his is. So what we're doing. So okay, but what's interesting about this is we're showing that men are harmless in a way. They're not sexually. We'll have we'll show that they're not homosexual by bringing other women, they'll be dating other women there, but they won't be dating their friends. So initially, what happens at the end, like after 10 seasons, then they all start dating each other. Of course, they're running out of time. Like the guy, what happened after like so many seasons? People are just like they're saying, it's just mindless. It's not going anywhere. So they got desperate at the end. They say, well, they all start going out with each other. It's stupid. Like in reality, What kind of guy would waste his time like a moron like me that went to that bar for so many years and hoping like he's going to get that woman kind of? It doesn't work that way in reality. And that stupid show, the shows are not reality. They're selling you. They're selling you a stupid, a stupid way of looking at the world. Now, here's the problem with this: millions and millions and millions of people watched that show. Okay, in the '90s, and what happened is movies and television have an effect on the way people act. Okay, because those people can be role models. They have power. They have tremendous power. Jennifer Aniston, like the women started to copy the hairstyle, the look of her, that conservative look. It's power that they have. That's the way it works. Don't you understand that you're watching these things and what their goal is, it pulls you into their world. That's what they want. I need your attention. So you need to pull you into the peacock, into the world of NBC or whatever it is. Whatever it is. In Star Wars, it's the same thing. Like when you go to see the movie for 2 hours and a half, their goal is, Disney, I want to take you, whoever in an audience, and come to our world. Like come on in. Like and try to understand what we're trying to tell you here about how this works. And if it's done, like they spend, like look, there's a lot of creative people. It's not just the actors. The actors are the executors. It's like they're the car, but they don't drive it. They don't drive it. The producers and the directors, and then it's like, okay, let's take it like a real like a real good quality car, right? And I want this car, to go. So the vehicle, the vehicle is Star Wars, or whatever, or the Friends, or whatever it is, and the people driving it. Now, when I say Star Wars, I mean all the actors. They're just part of the vehicle. Now, the people driving the car that accelerate it, are the producers and the director. They are go pushing the story. They're the ones they're the creators of the story. The people who build the vehicle, like finance the vehicle, are the movie studios. Okay, so they're putting up the money. It's like, and they're saying, that we need. I want to build this really cool looking car that everybody's going to want to look at. Okay, and so like whatever, they take the Lamborghini Murcielago, whatever, I don't know what it's called, but I want everybody to look at my Lamborghini Murcielago as I'm driving down the street. How do I get people to do that? Okay, so I don't have. So I need to build the car. So the car, or buy the car. The car costs $300,000. So the movie studios goes, okay, so we got $300,000. This is how we make money. So what happens is you put up the $300,000 and you have the car, okay? And that car is your actors, it's your story, the ideas, everything. It's the whole concept. It's the car. That's the car. And the people that drive the car forward are the producers. I know I said that before. I'm just passionate about it. Look at Rocky. Same thing. Stallone said, had the idea. He said, write the movie, write the movie. People don't know this, like he wrote it, a shorthand. He can't type. I think I tried to reach out to him. He maybe could write a word or something. He can't. He can't. His girlfriend typed it up, did all the work. He dictated, okay? He basically, the car was in his mind, like he knew it. He knew it. I give it up to him. It's not like, the guy didn't type it up, so it's nothing. No, okay, look, like that's kind of nor here nor there. Like if you're not like a professional typer, but it's all in your mind, you need somebody to write, or he writes it out on paper and somebody types it up. It's just almost the same thing. I guess ideally you should know how to type, learn how to type if you can. But look, people have problems or whatever. So, but the vehicle was in his mind. So like, girlfriend types it up, and here's the vehicle, right? So he and what happened? Irwin Winkler and Robert Chardoff drove the car. Okay, Stallone had the vehicle. Winkler and Chardoff, the producers, drove it. Okay. So if it wasn't for them, there is no Rocky. Okay. Without the producers, without them putting up the money and to make the movie. I know Stallone is the acting, like what he did. It's all commendable. It's all commendable. But he gets more credit. That's why he did not win an Academy Award. He did not drive the car. Look at the Academy Awards, 1977 or 76 or something, 77, I think it was. Best producers, best picture, Rocky or whatever. Who comes up to get? And I know, it shows Winkler and Chardoff with Academy Awards, and they said, and then they bring up Stallone. It wasn't for him. He's nominated for best screenplay or best actor, but he did not win, and he should not have won because of the he did not, drive the car. That's the most important thing, is who pushes the vehicle forward. Now here's how this relates to Friends. So anyway, it doesn't make sense, because you got these guys and they're made off to be kind of like, they're relating to the women kind of thing. They never show any type of sexual interest of anything toward any of these women. It's it's a complete farce. Okay, it's something that does not exist. Okay, and well, I know it'd be great if it did, but you're missing what the infection of what this does to society. What it does is, because you've got millions and millions of people watching this, then the parents start instilling this type of mentality on the kids, on their youth, on the kids, and it becomes kind of like an infection kind of thing. Like, it's a weird. It emasculates, it demasculates a man. Like it makes him, because wait a second, what? I remember some woman told me one time, she's a lesbian or something. She was a gorgeous, gorgeous Latina, and as I said, I was a baseball player, and she's really beautiful, and she likes softball, and she goes, we can go play catch all the time. He says, but I want you to think of me like a guy. And I said, she told me that she was into women. That's it. And I said, there's absolutely no way I'm going to do this. And she goes, why? I said, you don't understand, because I want to have sex with you. Beautiful. Like, I can't. I'm a normal man, and it didn't work, it's, so you're telling me you're going to make shit fly like this? You're going to make pigs fly by this kind of a show, and it's so successful, I mean, now I'm not going to push my I know it sounds like I'm pushing my philosophy. I am, to me, but it's like I'm what can you say? What can you say? Because what happens is that show came out in the 90s, and then the generation, so even though they kept it repeating it after, and then so then young people come up watching reruns, and then the older people, and they say to themselves, okay, well, this all makes sense. This is right. This is correct. This is correct. And then the mindset starts infecting your thinking. Other people, young people, like, it's like, what, like, I can't. I'm not allowed to, sex with women. I have to. They're my friends now. They're like normal guys. We're all the same. It's warped. Don't even get me started with Seinfeld. Because that's the epitome. The epitome of, even worse, if not the same. You've got, like, five guys, four guys, again, a great show, I'm not knocking the premise of the show, which, sorry, I sit on this plastic thing. I don't know why. It just saves the chair. You got the guy, and it's no offense, or maybe offense, to Jerry Seinfeld. It's a talented comedian. I don't think he's funny. I'm Jewish too, and I'm listening to this guy, and I you can't get a laugh out of me, like, and it's not because I'm saying in my mind, don't laugh, don't laugh. He's just a very he's not a he's a look. It takes tremendous, not courage. It takes a tremendous skill set to do stand-up comedy. Like, I've been on stage, like, a one-man show, like, doing thing dancing. It's like, they're all looking at you. What do you show us? What are you doing? That's really interesting. And a stand-up comedian, it's like, you got to get everybody on your page, you know, like the general masses there to get them to laugh and or to follow you. And you know that requires a tremendous amount of ability as far as relating to people in a funny way without pissing them off, without harassing, without like you know, I mean, it's, you know, you could say one thing. I mean, Michael Richards, that he pissed off, he got mad at the Comedy Store and said something. He used a foul language and bad words, racist remarks. It crushed his career, I heard, but he's already made his money. But you know, it's you know, you don't, you know, it's you could piss people off real easily, you know, with your words. You know, I told you, like I could break people's frames, you know, easily. That their egos are too fragile. Like, you know, they don't, for whatever reason. You know, people are not. If they should teach anything in school, anything, it should be how to build a strong frame so that your ego, when someone like tries to like give you a put down or whatever, you're just like, doesn't matter, you know, like you're not, you know, and you grow up and you become this defensive. It's like you grow up and you're immature, you know, because it's not taught when you're young, you know, as parents. Or, you know, how can you not teach your kids how to handle situations like this? I mean, it should be foundation. It should be a foundation. Instead, the parents, they don't care. They don't have time for the kid. They have to go to work. They have to make money. They have to make money because, you know, that money is survival. That's the most important thing. Now think about that. Is it money, you controlling money, or is it controlling you? You know, in a way, like our society, I could do. I'll do that. Save that for another one. I'm gonna, you know, that could spend out a couple hours talking about money and the way that it controls us. Of course, you need it to live. You're gonna die. You know, grow your own vegetables. You know, go out and off the grid or something. You can't. You know, you got it. It's like you have to go along with society, but you don't have to. Like, you know, but it's a weird thing when people say go along and they do everything along with it. Like, because if they do anything a little different, they're going to stand out from the norm, you know. And if you stand out from the norm, is everybody's doing this, right? Okay, you're here, you know, like, you know, and if you go here, people are like, you know, what the fuck is that guy? Get out of here, you know, like there, and you're like, oh shit, you know, like what am I doing here, you know? You know, I got nothing to do, you know. It's like I'm by myself now, you know. Hey, you want to come with me? No, 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 no. We're here. It's like, well, I'm by myself. You know, I need somebody. I need this, you know. Come on, let me get to you. Get out of here, you know. Unless you want to be back with us like this, you're going, you know, you're by yourself. What do I do here? Fuck, I'm alone. I need people. I need this, you know. I better get back in, you know. Here you are, to everybody else, doing the same thing. But every once in a while, somebody goes away, and that person's like staying there. They're by themselves, you know. They're small. They're there, and they don't need. I'm good, you know. I could survive on my own here. I'm fine. We're looking at what's wrong with that guy, you know. What's he doing over there? Like doing his own thing. Look at that guy. You see that guy? Hey, you. What? Look at that guy over there. What's he doing? He's over there, you know. Yeah, who cares? Well, but why is he over there? What's he doing over there? Take a look. Let's all take a look at what's he doing. What's he doing there? He's doing something. What's he doing? He's like doing his own thing, you know, like why is he not over here with us? He has some type of power. He believes in himself, you know, or something. Well, why do we need to do that? We don't need to do that. We're fine with ourselves right here. I guess, you know, you don't need to be like him. You can go over there, like, you know, you go to where this guy is, you know, you got to stay here. Yeah, we have to stay here, you know. Hey, you, what's up? You want to come back with us? Why? Well, you know, maybe you hang out with us. Nah, I'm good. You know, come on back. You know, we're all here. Yeah, I don't need it. You know, I'm good. I'm good right here. This guy's problem. You know, like we're all here. This guy's doing his own thing here. What's you know, he's all good. You know, I don't need. You know, I'm good. Do you kind of understand that that guy, he's going somewhere. He's got a plan. You know, he doesn't like that. What was going on? He's part of the normal. You know, the watching. You know, it's not thinking for himself. Those people, they're not thinking for themselves. They're like those shows. They're watching. They're this. They're those people. I'm that one that went off. I don't need to be part of that. I don't. It doesn't apply to me. I go, you people, like you're watching and contributing to this stupid. Oh, you contribute. They don't make no money off of me. Sure, they do. You contribute with your time. You contribute with your time and your energy, your energy, time. Well, I need a break. I need to turn my mind. Turn your brain off. You turn your brain off. You're not thinking. You should always be thinking. There should always be something going on in your mind. You have to be working. You need to relax. I need to relax. Why do you need to relax? Well, because you know I work with like a lot, and I'm tired. I'm tired of. You work a lot, and you're tired. You're working, and you're tired because you're doing something for somebody else, and they're giving you this while they make this. You know, I'll get into this in one other one. You ever see the pyramids at Giza? The giant pyramids? They stand the test of time. They're there. Do you know why? Because they were forced to be built. The Jews or whoever, they built those, the slaves. They didn't have a choice. They had to build them, like or die. They didn't have a choice. Today we have a choice, but people don't. They don't. They have a choice, but they don't have a choice in their mind. And that's why if you look at the, I'll show you something. Hold on, not that. I know you guys want to see that too. But sorry. Nobody talks about this, but I will. Okay. Now, understand something here. You know, this controls everything, correct? Now look at the back of this very carefully. What's on the back? There's a pyramid there. You see? You see the pyramid? Do you know why there's a pyramid on there? This is not Egypt. This is America. There's a pyramid on the back of the money. It's not because it's a pyramid scheme or whatever, like a Ponzi scheme or anything like that. But do you understand that it's the people that build, the slaves didn't have a choice. They had to build the pyramid. If they didn't build it, they die. Okay, the Pharaoh commands everything. This is not fantasy. This is not like make believe or anything. This is the reality. The reality is the pharaohs, the Jews, and whoever was there. It's like you're going to build this, and the slaves are like they don't understand. There's no way. There's no money back then. There's nothing. You know, like the slaves. That's how they. You know, the pharaoh is the leader. You know, like is the control. It's the emperor. You know, like he's all powerful. Okay, you don't. Where are you gonna go? You know, like he provides the food, everything. I'm the captain. He is the captain now. That's it. And the slaves, they have to do. There's no way. You know, like it's like, well, then just leave. Leave. Go look at a map. You know, and look at exactly where Cairo is. You don't understand. You know, like back then there was nothing civilization. There's nothing around you. It's desert. There's no food. There's no water. There's nothing, and they're enslaved. It's like I know, like the Moses and the Israel and the Promised Land, but there's no real. It wasn't built in, and it wasn't developed. You know, there you're enslaved. You have to stay there. You know, you have to do what you're told or die, right? And so what did they do? They said, okay, you want us to build this incredible structure for you, whatever, fine, fine, we'll do it, like anything. And the Pharaoh is like, you didn't even say good, you know, like, because it doesn't matter. Like, it's like, you don't have a choice. It's build or die, you know, like, you know, so you have no choice. You didn't even say good job, you know, like, you didn't care. Like, these people, like, you're going to do this. Like, it's you have to. You have to. You have to, okay? You don't understand something. What you don't get it. It's like yeah, it's we have freedom, you know, like, but you have to, okay? It's the same thing in a way. If you don't make this, you die, okay? That's why it's on here. That's the point. The point is the controller. That's why there's an eyeball at the top. It's the power. They know this. Okay? Trying to get reconnection, I guess. I don't know. It says my connection is unstable. Wow, please wait while we. But that's my point I was trying to make. You don't understand, you know, like a lot of people do not understand what this means. What that is. You have to build the pyramid. Okay? Whether you like it or not. It costs money. You can't trade for it. You can't. It's a barter and anything. I'm going to talk about my system. You know, like I came up with something that will. I guarantee you, in 500 years from now, that's what's going to be. The world will be like this, but it's not going to be now because of the way society functions. But the way society functions is this. Okay, you have to build the pyramid by this. It's not for a pharaoh, but it's controlled by this. There's no other way around it. If you go to another country or whatever, they use a different form of this. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Just the Federal Reserve System is nice enough to put it there so you can see it. They're kind enough to let you know what that is. They don't have to. They can't explain it to you on. There's not enough space on the thing. I explained it to you. It's kind of complex, you know, like it's over most people's heads. They go, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's like the pyramid. What do you mean? I'm not building anybody's pyramid. I'm not building a pyramid for anybody. Nobody's forcing me. Nobody's forcing me. Yes, they are. Yes, they are forcing you. Yes, they are. When you get up and go to work every day, yes, they are. They're forcing you with this. Okay. I could stay home. I could stay home. I don't have to. You're not understanding what I'm saying. You can't stay home because your home has this value attached to it. Okay? Do you understand? It's all based on this. It's all based on this. The barter system might work. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The barter system. It doesn't make any sense. You go to the market. You can't go to the market with a fucking, you know, here, can I give you this for a you know, can I go shopping for some food? Or sell this, and then you have to have this. Even if you have gold or whatever, I could show you. I could do this. It doesn't matter because the gold is tied to this. But the gold value is not equal to this. The gold value is not equal to this. Well, what do you mean? Gold's like, $1,900 an ounce right now. It's equal to 1,900 of these, but it is not worth 1,900 of these. What do you mean? I could go get, I have an ounce of gold. I could go get $1,900. That's what it's worth. It's worth that because the price is manipulated to reflect that. There's a huge, huge difference. So what are you saying I should do? I'm not saying you should do anything. I'm just telling you the way society functions. There's nothing you can do. It's the way society functions. But most people don't even know that. They don't understand. What they understand is that I need as many of this as I can in order to do whatever I want to do in my life. This buys freedom. And it does. It does buy freedom. It actually buys you anything that you can buy. And believe it or not, it can buy inanimate things. I don't care. Like women that said, what do you think a marriage is? What do you think things are when people get together? Why do they go with somebody? Why do they go? Why does a woman choose a guy? He's real nice and everything like that. He's a real good person and everything. Oh, I didn't have any money when she met me. You had something. You had something. You had potential to make this. I guarantee you. There's something. Because this controls everything. It controls her thinking. You go back to when you're a small baby, when you're a kid. Parents will give you an allowance, maybe. Give you some of this. So that's it. It's once that's instilled, that, if you see this coming, I go play video games at Starkey's. You go get something to eat. I want to go, whatever. It controls everything. And there's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. For now, anyway. I'm going to do a special on what I proposed. And I can guarantee you've never heard anything like this before. It was proposed by the utopian, society of the 70s and stuff like that. But it's, the way they explained it, it doesn't really. But it's a great idea. And then eventually, like I said, everything comes to an end. Everything comes full circle. They won't be using this after a while. I can guarantee you, this will come to an end one day. If you live far enough into the future. You watch, what was it, Star Trek? There was one, and it said they're still using money. The Star Trek 4. We got to get some. They're still using money. It's remember when Kirk being down there, or not being down on Earth, pass. Well, they're gonna have a replicator in the future. There can be no replicator or transporter or something like that. There'll be the Bitcoin and stuff like that. It's not going to be Bitcoin either. You're thinking now. You're thinking what they're trying to do now. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be nothing like anything that what you're thinking of. Again, I'm not going to start on it now. It's going to take me too long to explain to you because I got way, way, way off topic. It all started with, I always finish how I began. And how I started was with, the ratings of people, the ratings of the fighters and chess players, and stuff like that. 330 million people in this country, okay? I don't know how many of them play chess on chess.com or something. They don't know what they're doing, just move, move whatever, And the higher up you go, it's like 1,400. Come like a low intermediate player, like a C player. C player knows, how the pieces work, some little bit of basic strategy, some end game to end it when it, or grab something that's going to be available. A 1,400 fighter can defend themselves. They have a very good understanding. A good understanding. Maybe not a very good, I'll retract. A good to low understanding. Probably like a security, like that Samoan guy, would have one hell of a battle, like taking him down. So I think I told you what happened. So the security guy came up from the ropes and whatever, and he came at me. And what I did was I put my hand up like this, and he immediately, I put it too high. I didn't know you're supposed to go out to create it like this. I put it up toward his face, like to say, don't get too close. And he says, he goes, what did you put your hand up at me? Like he wasn't prepared for that. Now he did not encourage it. And then stupid, hey, come on, keep going. I didn't know how to handle. I'm constantly learning how to deal with people. That's the thing is, you constantly have to learn because they're looking for mistakes here. They're looking for, it's like they're looking for an opening. Like if somebody's, let's say, okay, you're in a fight or boxing, the guys, they're standing there and say, what are they just standing there for? Or something. What are they waiting for? He said, you don't understand. It takes an immense amount of energy. When you fucking unload or something, you're going to get tired. If you miss, let's say, you fucking go for it, you unload and you miss. The guy, the guy's coming in, the circular saw, that knows if he's, even if he's not a master, if he's like, if he's like a 1,400 and he goes like this, backs up and you go like this and you're like this, I'm going to fucking take my hand, I'm going to fucking grab here and I'm going to fucking pound as hard as I can, the back of the head or whatever I can. I'm going to take his fucking piece. I'm going to try to get checkmate. I'm going to win the game. So the thing is, like the stronger you are, the more like it's like a book in your mind, an encyclopedia of chess, like in your mind, like the stronger you are, it's like, okay, you could lose, but like the odds of you losing it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. The better you get, the higher up you go. So my point is that, okay, so when you're like, let's say you're rated 100. 100 is a guy. Okay, well, yeah, I know I got some hands here. I don't even know how to punch properly, but I know, like I got 2 feet. I got my hands. Maybe I can figure out like how to stand here or something. I can figure to keep my hands kind of up in front of my face. That's like 100. It's like a chess player. It's like rated 100. They know there's pieces. Do I move? They might need to make a legal move like in 3 moves or something. They might, they don't know. They don't, because it's just too much pressure on them. They don't know how to play. They don't know. They just know there's the board and the pieces. And I think I could, but it's somebody rated 100 against somebody rated like a 900 or 1,000. I mean, like the guy that's like 1,000, he's like, he says, well, okay, well, I know, or I don't have, if I know all the legal moves. I know how to push this twice. I know the goal is to get checkmate. If you put something out there that's free for me to take, and I'm just going to take it. There's nothing blocking it or guiding it. So the guy 1,000 is like, like a Bruce Lee almost compared to like that 100. It's like, so that guy, the 100 guy is like, what are you talking about, man? I'm gonna get you. And so like, if the guy's now a real moron would be like real mad like this and have absolutely nothing. It would be like him. He wouldn't. Who does that? I don't care. Like maybe somebody very drunk or something that just would be so stupid. Like be like I would say Glass Joe or something. But even that guy, like he was the weakest fighter, but he still knew how to like come on, get in the fight. Like, and the thing is, you could beat him. That's all you had to do. It was just he couldn't like maybe he could throw up, but it was like Glass Joe. Like he was the easiest one to beat. Like you just had to keep punching away, and eventually he just goes down. He's the weakest, but he's still a ranked fighter. He's the lowest. He's the lowest one, but he's still there. Like he could beat a Glass Joe. You put him on the and somebody that doesn't even know how to what fighting and nothing. Like doesn't Glass Joe will kill him. Like because the guy doesn't even know how to like defend himself. It's like so. The thing is, you have to you could size you want to like you could size people up fairly quickly based on common knowledge. Now again, I'm not saying to go pick on security guards or doormen, but don't let them pick on you. There's a big difference. You see, you don't understand. And so what that guy did, he came out onto the sidewalk, to like kind of in a way use his intimidating presence to get me out of there. Doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Now, his job is to stay behind the ropes, like stay behind to guard his property. Just like they didn't come to help me when I was in front of EP and LPs. The security guys told me, they said, hey, once you're on the sidewalk, it's up to you. You can't. So it's very interesting how like up the block, the security guy was there to help me out of there, to get me out of there. And then meanwhile, down the block, they wouldn't help me when people were fucking were coming to get me. So this is a very like I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work their way. Okay, you are not a victim to the way that they feel they're going to run the show to tell you that who you can and can't talk to. Okay, it's being assertive. I know it sounds like I'm mad, but I'm just passionate. Like I'm very thing. So anyway, what happened was security guy like eventually I put my hand up there, but nothing happened of it. But in the future, because I'm not just take karate classes a couple times a week. That what that's for. That helps. Like just as a hobby or something. What that does, maybe like some guy just to say, hey, what it's good. It's good for fitness. It gives me a little confidence. Like. But I'll tell you something. In a street fight, it's unfair. I believe me. I mean, it looks good, like the karate thing, the beautiful, like I know the thing like this. But dude, if somebody comes at you like fast or comes at you like this, you better fucking have a lot more than just that one little thing in your tool shed. It's not enough. I mean, if you go the whole way with it, black belt and stuff like that, maybe it really, you're because I think you have to fight to earn the black belt. So. That's a little different story. Okay, so now you're not just like learning, front kick, up and block, like stand up, like it's not enough. It's not like these guys, these security guys, like what are you gonna do? The guy's gonna come and grab you. You're gonna go, I block, it says to block like this, to punch forward like this. You can't. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna like it's a white belt. That's a white belt nothing. Like you have to say, look, man, this is 2021 here. Like remember, like Bruce Lee said, that the no man's land, and I watch some of these guys that tell you the self-defense. What happens? They come at you in the zone, and then these guys will just react naturally. It's like through a grab. If somebody like is coming to push, they know how to put hand up and then hand on the neck kind of thing. Now, if a guy's really tall. Like again, I'm gonna wait to see. Like, again, the security guy is really not gonna try to do something, but I like to like show them that, hey, man, most security guys they're gonna try to grab. That's the thing first. Again, I'm not trying to condone taking out security guys. That's not what I think. What I'm saying is if he's gonna try to get me out of there, from keeping me from being on the sidewalk, trying to talk to women, or something, then I'm going to hold ground, hold ground, hold. Remember the last one I said hold, hold. And how you hold is that, you're going to be, that's, you're constantly building the sharpness of that circular saw. It's real dull when you don't know how to do it. Like when you're, that's the reason you have to train. It's not just taking classes, you have to train. Okay. When I go to my gym, I'm training by myself. I'm working on things. I'm saying, all right, okay, wait, let's fucking watch this, watch these guys on TV, but let's fucking do it. Let's fucking, chop that fucking bag hard. Let's hit that bag, kick it, and then against the wall, like getting those, taking those hits. What it's doing, it's building like your chess ability. It's building your rating to take power, to take a pounding. So that you think about this. Like you're going up. Little, you don't realize it, but you're going up the rating ladder. You're going up. And it's like sharpening the blade. And maybe in the beginning, it's like those little fans that people use, that little, like it's a little fan, you hold it, you get a little air about it, and put your finger in there. You're not scared of it. It's a fucking, it'll stop. It's rubber. It's nothing. You want to fuck with that or whatever, and then you see regular fans that maybe, and maybe it's like, oh yeah, you want to, and some guy might go and grab it. It's not sharp. It's not nothing. So like they're not scared. They're not scared because it's like they know it's like that thing is not sharp. It's not going to do anything to me. Well, when you start fucking really practicing and training and then learning, it's like, okay, yeah, and you're just like, this really is serious to you, and it's like, dude, I am going to defend myself. I am going to defend myself. I am going to defend myself. I'm going to learn how to, like, somebody tries to grab, I'm going to fucking keep them back. I'm going to inflict pain if they try to hurt me. You start like having this warrior mentality that, like, you know what, but I'm not there to hurt anybody. I'm not there to push anybody around. I'm there to avoid being a victim. I will not be a victim. I will not be a victim. All these things, I will defend myself. So basically, what is, you're building a shield around you of protection is all you're doing. You're not going out there, like trying to show off. That's not what this is about. That's not what it. That's not what the respect for learning all this stuff is. It's the shield of protection. It's sharpening the blade. I'm sharpening. I'm creating, and then all of a sudden, that plastic blade becomes like a harder material, right? And it becomes to get a little sharper, right? And so what happens is, these people, like, hopefully they start to think a little twice. That, how do they know? I mean, I could just walk around like a goylem, like, and some security guy goes, "Hey man, get out of here!" I mean, I believe me, I can act like a real goylem if I want. I can do, but I'm not there to, like, like, what was it, Big Trouble in Little China, like David Lopan, what he does, like the truck comes and he's like, and he goes like this, he goes, come on, like, it doesn't matter, you can't kill him, he's not alive. I'm sorry, the reality is we're not, you don't believe me. I wish I had the power like this, where somebody fucks with you and it's like, the power of Yoda, the power of Palpatine. It would I mean, that would be great, wouldn't it? Like, can you imagine? You're like this little nothing, like me, and you're standing out there, and the security or whatever, they say, get out of here. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, really, man? I'm going to show you. And the security comes out to get you, and you just, the guy is like, what the fuck? What the fuck? How the fuck did he do that? Like, it comes out of your head. The police comes out, well, where's the stun gun? Where's the stun gun? Because he's got no stun gun. I said, well, how did he do it? He said, lightning came out of his lightning came out of. What are you talking about? Are you crazy? It's like lightning came out of his hands, and I would be like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I know that lightning can't come out of my hands. I oh god, like, it just be, in my warped to my mind, like, it'd be funny. But where was I going with this? Oh, sharpening the blade. So it's like taking, like what Rambo did, like, I mean, the knife. He's just, he's sharpening it. Why is he sharpening it for? He wouldn't want to kill those sheriffs. He didn't want to hurt and inflict anybody in that small town. But what happened was you traumatized him. He started to think about what they did to him in Vietnam. Like, he started flashbacks. That it's, I know it's not funny, but I'm thinking about, like, you know, and they couldn't like you know, and I know it's a movie, but then it became like what happened. They went after him, and he goes up like in the field. And, you know, remember what Colonel Troutman? Colonel Troutman goes, and Denny, the sheriff, goes, "Who are you?" And he goes, "Colonel Troutman, United States Army," you know, like thing. He goes, "I'm here to get my boy." And he goes, "Your boy?" And he goes, "Yeah, Rambo," you know. And he goes, "Oh, you mean that troublemaker? That troublemaker?" And he goes, he doesn't, you know, what he doesn't cause trouble." And he says, you know, you cause the trouble. You cause it. And he goes, "What do you mean, me? You know, I just want him to leave my town." He goes, "Your town?" You know, like, and he goes, "Well, we don't need you." Remember, I don't know the lines perfectly, but I remember what the Dennehy, what the sheriff goes. He's sitting behind desk, and he goes, I think we got enough men to handle your boy here." And he goes, Colonel goes, I don't think you understand what you're dealing with here. You know, you're dealing with an expert of guerrilla warfare. You know, a man of attrition, the man that learned to kill. Period. You know, and he's the best. You know, it's a one man fucking it's a one man army. You know, like the guy doesn't care. You know, like what do you think? It's like it's a fucking the wood chipper thing. You do the same thing. You're putting your hand into death. You know, like the guy was raised as a killer. You know, like you're what are you doing? You know, like what are you going after? You think he's a normal guy or something? Like you're gonna fucking he's a little, you know, he's gonna you don't know who you're dealing with here. And then a guy goes like, he's so confident. The sheriff guy is so confident that we're gonna get him. Like he says, "You don't understand. We can call in, you know, the helicopters. We can call in other guys. We're gonna get him." And I says, "You know, you're gonna get him all right, but just remember one thing." And the sheriff goes, "What's that?" And he says, "You need a lot of body bags." You know, like he's telling the truth. You know, right? You're gonna get him, but you're gonna fucking need a whole lot of body bags to take down that guy because he's a fucking, you know, you're going after somebody. You're fucking out of your mind. You know, what are you doing? Why didn't you just leave him alone? He's not doing anything wrong, but you're provoked. You're provoking somebody, and that's what these people did to me. They fucking they provoked somebody, but they basically. But here's the thing: I'm not going out to try to create vengeance or anything. There's a big difference. It's not a movie. I realize that I'm not trying to become Rambo, but what I'm doing is I'm building the shield is what I'm doing. I'm building that fucking shield of protection through the circular saw around me. So then next time when somebody comes up to me and tries to like scare me and inflicts, you know, try to threaten me or tell me I can't stay there if I'm not doing anything illegal, if I'm not doing anything wrong, then guess what? They're gonna fucking get cut, is what's gonna happen. They're gonna put their hand into the shield and it's gonna fucking hurt, is what it is. And it's not my job. It's like I'm not going out there trying to hurt anybody. It's just the same thing. It's like saying if you see like that wood thing there, you know that's cutting up. You put the fucking the tree branches in, and it comes out mulch like that. I'm not gonna fucking tell that machine. I'm not gonna say, hey, you know what? I want that machine. I'm gonna tell that machine not to to do this and that. I said, look, that machine works a certain way, like that blade that goes like this. You turn it on, and it fucking goes. Okay. It doesn't matter. It's not there to reason with you logically. Because if you're picking on somebody, you're doing something that's illogical. You're picking on the fucking machine. Okay? And I don't get mad. The machine doesn't get mad. The machine just does its job. It just reacts to it. Okay? It just reacts. If you put your hand into the machine, it just does its job. Period. That's it. And that's what I'm becoming. I'm not going to allow people to bully me. I'm not going to try to de-escalate and tell them how to act. I'm not going to reason with them. If the hand comes in to the machine, it's going to get cut off. I'm not going to, it's going to get broken like as hard as it can. The hardest thing is people try to like, hey, man, hey, buddy. No, you're not going to even touch me. That's how serious I am. You're not going to touch me because of my experiences. It's all or nothing. There's no compromise. Based, unfortunately, on my life's experience. It's not a saying, oh, you get in my way. It's not that. If you come in to the vulnerable area and I sense that you're a threat, immediately I'm going to take action and defend myself. I will not hesitate for a second. And then the cops come and like, well, that guy, he didn't do anything to. He could have. He was that close. His hand was coming at me. I've asked sheriffs about this before. If the guy raises a hand, doesn't have to raise it. It has to be coming at you. I'm sorry. Those people, they showed me the way the world is going. An example of it. What's possible. Okay? There's a lot of those people out there. And if you think you're going to, judge people individually, I don't know what to, especially when you're going after something you want out of life. That hesitation, that worry of anything, that's going to keep you down. It's going to keep you from becoming anything, from doing anything, from having anything, because it snowballs into everything. Most people don't, they can't compensate, they can't conceptualize that in their mind. When they think fighting, they think like some tough guy, because that's what somebody told them. A tough guy, looking for trouble, tough guy. Why? Who said? The movies, television. And then, like, a movie like Rocky, that's what won Academy Awards. Because it's not. He's a good person. But he's a fighter. But the problem is, in the real world, it's not fair. It's not a ring. It's like, the ring, it's like the world in a way. And, in boxing, there's rules of punching. You can't use your feet. You can't hit below the belt. You can't use your elbow. You can't do this thing. But in street fighting, they can use all those things. Anything goes. They can use a weapon too. They can use, I didn't even get into that. They can use all these, anything goes. That's why you can't study one style. You can't. Karate, there's rules. They have tournaments. Taekwondo. In MMA, there's rules. So what you have to do is become like, a creative self-defense artist. Now, you're not going to be able to stop there's no way. Like, I don't care how good you are. Yeah, everybody loses. Magnus Carlsen loses. Everybody loses. But for the most part, what I'm talking about is just being able to understand how the pieces move, the basic strategy, and the goal of the game. Understanding how the pieces move, the basic strategy and the goal of the game if they come into the shield. And they will do that. If you're going after what you want, you have to get resistance somewhere. There's no way there has to be resistance. You know, and I'm not talking about anything illegal. I'm talking about just something that's not socially generally accepted. I wish I could like record like when I go out, so you guys could see really, but I can't. My phone, it doesn't sync. You know, my phone doesn't sync with the YouTube and things. Oh, get it. You know, you shouldn't have to. You know, you should be able to understand it in the sincerity of my voice through me telling you through this way of what I go through. Friends, you know, that are cream puffs. They're nice people. They recommend me going to a book club, take yoga class or something. I don't like that. I don't want to join a book club. I don't want to take a yoga class. Imagine standing in front of a nightclub and a girl, like you see that one, the 10, whatever, and the guy, you try, and the guy goes, "Hey man, what are you trying to do?" I'm trying to become enlightened, you know, like nonsense, whatever those idiots, you know, the yoga. Yeah, that special head him up, you know, that guy dressed like a monk or whatever, you know, and then like you bring like a smoke bomb, a little thing, you throw it down, and you're like gone, and these guys like, what the fuck? Is this guy a magician? He's a what was that movie? Was it 300? 300? The narrator goes, you know, the 300. They're holding that ground. You're not getting through there, and they go the Persian Empire. They sent everything. You see the elephants coming. They're all going off the cliff. They can't get through it. It's got the 300. It's the circular saw. It's worse. It doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever. It's the thing. They're holding that. You can't. Those same thing. Same thing. You think those Spartan warriors, look, those Spartan warriors were protecting. They were the shield. They were protecting what I'm talking about. Now I know they fight, go out and kill, but they were protecting their land. That's all it is. And that fucking Persian Empire, they came in, millions, they came after them. It's like it's the guy, the Xerxes. Stop them, you know, the guy, you know, the Xerxes guy, he's a 300, you know, and then the guys, the generals would go to Xerxes as a king, a great leader. We're sending everything we have, you know, but these Persian, the Spartan warriors, how many of them are there? It's like, well, imagine when he first found out, he goes, well, there's like 300 of them. 300? We have millions, you know. It doesn't matter. You're putting wood. You're putting nothing into the grinder. It's going to just spit it out. You can't. You might be able to take a little, you know, if you shove enough wood in there all at once, you might get to slow it down. But the blade is so sharp, it's going to tear it all apart. You're going to die. And he's like, you send everything, I'm getting through there, and he sent everything. Remember, he sent the fucking everything he had. He pushed all in. He's pushing elephants. He's pushing. We sent them. They sent magicians with their magic. You know, I like that. The magic. The you know the magic. The smoke bombs. It didn't matter. They couldn't. You couldn't. Those guys. It was a shell. It was like the fucking standing there with their. You try to fucking get in there. Again, you saw what happened. The circular saw. The fucking the magicians. The tricks were not received. They were laughed off. The magicians were laughed off stage. They were booed off stage. They're not, no chance. They're not falling for it. This is not David Copperfield. This is not nonsense. I forget who else they sent. They sent everything they had. The samurai warrior. They sent the best samurai warriors from the Mongolian Empire. They sent them, and they come there like they got their fucking giant swords. They're strong, they're big. The fucking the thing. The second they showed it, the second they got there, okay, maybe it was two. It was a combination. It didn't matter. They're dead. They came out there. Those guys, the killers, their numbers count for nothing. Their numbers count for nothing. It doesn't matter. They're going into the circular saw. They're gonna grind it up. You don't understand those Spartan warriors. They're trained ever since they're fucking this big. They come out from the minute they can't even walk yet. Barely. They can't even. They're learning. How like daddy teaches a kid kind of like, okay, son, like I want you to. Do you know how to walk? And daddy's like, he says, the fucking, they get the fuck up now. Like fucking and the kid is like traumatized, like a fucking took a shot already, took a fucking whap, like, and the kid is like just, almost brain damage almost, but the warrior is like, if he lives, if he lives, he's going to be a fucking, a human machine, like I'm this guy, and that's what how they train those people. He says they're fucking little kids. This is, and they're training with their mind too. He says they're gonna learn the education. They're gonna learn the academia of the power of what the way this works here, the way the world works. That it's kill or be killed. It's like if somebody's gonna come into your house, they die. This is where remember this is what he said. What Maximus? Not Maximus. I'm going wrong movie. Was it Leonidas? Leonidas. He goes. This is where they die. Okay. Like this is where we go for. He didn't say this is where we live. He goes. This is where they die. Okay. That's what it. That's the way it works back then. I'm sorry. They have a big army, and they're saying, guess what? We're coming to kill you. And so the hold on, I gotta, I know, I'm trying to tell my friend. So he says, remember what Leonidas goes? He goes, this is where they die, like, and immediately those 300 guys don't even have to think, like, what do you mean? They think, hesitate. They've been, since they were this big, they're fucking trained to fight and to defend themselves, to kill. How are you going to stop something like that? You have to kill them. That's the only way. There's no way. They're like, it's a human Terminator. Okay, it's a human fucking Terminator. Like that mentality. It's like, they you think, like the second, now that they're nice people, they're probably nice people to their own kind. Like because they're taught. He says, okay, it's like a dog, like a German Shepherd. I don't know, canine. Maybe I'm not sure. But I know one thing, like the dogs, the police dogs, they know what's called like the downtime with the owner, the police, the sheriff, they know like but when that dog, when whatever command or whatever that dog knows that it's time to go to work, may God help you. Like if you are like with that in jeopardy or something, and like that dog has to execute, that dog is not going to have any compassion. It's not going to think. It is going to bite you, and it is going to tear you apart until the owner says stop. It is no compassion. It has no sense of it is trained to execute. It is trained, to off, like to fight, to get, to execute, to kill, whatever it is. You're not going to fucking, if you are think you're going to take it down, you have to kill it. That's the only way to stop it. That's the only way. And I told you, is the shield. If they come into that shield and you don't fucking kill, and you do not what I mean defend, and when I say kill, what I mean is break, like the three fucking things very quickly to end the fight before they end you. Okay, they're gonna fucking end you. What they're gonna do is the second their hands come at you, or this, if they hit you first, guess what? It's over. You're going to die. Okay. You're going to be in the hospital because you thought about it. You said to yourself, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait and see what this guy does. Like after the hand comes out, you do know how fast, even let's say if somebody rated 100 or 200, let's say whatever, somebody rated 200 probably has the ability, just to go like this, just like a couple, How long does that take? How long does that take? Less than a second. Less than a second. All the way around. Push. About a second, if not that. Without anything really behind it. They're not using their hips to thrust it through. They're not. It's just the weight of this, depending on how much body mass is behind it. It's amazing. Like in baseball, you see these strong guys, they hit the ball like Mark McGwire or something. These are powerful. Some of these guys, they hit these moonshots or whatever because look, they're putting everything behind it. It's like they got everything. It's an extension. The bat was extension of their arms, so they connect. And that ball just fucking, it's gone. Like it's power. It's behind it. These people that are looking to pick on you, even if it's I don't care who it is. If it's somebody trying to jump you, if it's somebody security guard trying to grab you, whatever, or somebody trying to push you, or whatever it is, they're not really thinking in the way of maximum efficiency. I doubt it. They can't because their brains. If anybody is a bully or something, they're not there. They're there. Just to try to to bully you around. They're not really educating themselves because they're stupid to begin with. Anybody that bullies somebody is a stupid anyway. Period. It's not. I don't care who you are. If you bully somebody, you're a fucking idiot. You're an asshole. You're whoever taught you that. You were raised wrong. Okay. It's wrong. It's immoral. It's just a mean thing to do, and it's not right. No matter what, there's no excuse for bullying. It's unacceptable. Okay, so the point is that there's a price to pay for that if you bully the wrong person. Okay, and there's plenty of people out there that they stand up for themselves, and I'm one of them now. So what happens is, and it's really nice because was it Martin Crease or whatever, the Cove, what I forget his name, the actor from the original Karate Kid, the sensei of the Cobra Kai, the asshole, and he's like, basically it was like borderline. It was like, yeah, it was bullying. He was trying to but the thing is, as a real person, he promoted the anti-bullying campaign. He was very serious about, as a real person, going out there and speaking up against it because it's very, it's wrong. It's a really wrong thing. As I'm becoming very passionate about, this issue. So what happens was, even this good character, remember, like in the end of Karate Kid, and Daniel's son, he comes back at the end, and even the Cobra Kai, the guy that lost, forget the guy, he raised his hand like in good sportsmanship. It's like, you did, Johnny. It's wow. I mean, it's a beautiful script. I tried to reach out to the writer many times. Wouldn't reach out to me. It was very inspirational. I wish, it's like a winery in Northern California. I wish that I could have. Never know whose lives you touch. You never know. That's why I do this. I do this because it's not venting. It's not frustration or anger. You never know whose lives you touched. And that's why I'm just leaving this stuff up there because a lot of it's funny. I think it's like real life in a way. I talk about things that are funny. I talk about things that are serious. I talk about how things relate to you. How to handle yourself. I just don't see anybody really doing anything like this. So I think it's kind of cool. I'll just leave it up there, and maybe one day somebody will find it. And they'll be like, wow, this guy was a very passionate person. That I helped somebody. I helped somebody that was in like my situation or something, that somebody that related to it. So All right. Well, I guess I've been on for a little over 2 hours, so I think it's really good. We talked about a lot of good stuff. You know, everything from money to chess, how chess. That's I finish it up about the rating thing. Little by little, work your way up the levels. To from 100 to 200, 300. And that's what I feel like. That confidence, and just keep going. Just keep going. I know I'm never going to be like a 2,800. I mean, that's like come on, these guys are started. Just like the Spartan Warriors. It's started. But can you imagine that? Now again, I know what you guys are probably thinking. Well, if he ever has kids, he's going to be like, he's going to train his kid to be a fucking, like a not having kids, can't handle the responsibility. And even if I taught, I would never teach kids to be a bully at all. You can't. You as an instructor, if I ever become one, I would teach morality, assertiveness, respect, but there's that line in respect that people try to take advantage of. And I can feel, I know it. It's like your aura that's around you. It's like that hand is, when the hand comes in there, either like through actions physically or through another way, like, they're trying to get like a, my frame, I talk about my frame being so strong. Like, I don't care what make fun of me. You can't get me upset. That I'm a 2200 I'm on. That I'm definitely a 2200 when it comes to, like, you think you're going to say something to piss me off. You can't. You can't. I'm a master. You can't. But if you challenge my intellectual, that's where it becomes difficult, because now you're telling me to get out of here. You're telling me what to look at. Basically, you're trying to impose a Nazi Germany type mentality, like your command of power over me, and I will not turn. I will not turn. Like that. I know I got that Return of the Jedi. Vader. And what did the Emperor say? Like, he couldn't get him. He couldn't turn Luke to the dark side because he was trained by Yoda. You understand? Even remember, like, he's fighting Vader, in the Emperor's throne room. Good, good. Like, he beats him, and he saw look at Luke's face. Like, he beat Vader, and he's like holding the lightsaber. He's like this. He's like, you look. He just made you powerful. Now, fulfill your destiny and take your father's place by my side. And the music, and he looks at his hand. It's a machine. He looks at Vader. The hand's gone. It's a machine. And they're like, it hit him. What am I doing? Like, what do you? No, of course not. I'm trained. I'm a Jedi. I'm a good person. Turns off the lights and goes away. No, because I'm a Jedi, like my father before me. Like, crowd fucking was like, just guys, just, you would think because Luke with the black on, like his dad is a large, all dark. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be take your father's place by my side. Like, that's what you have to do. It's just your destiny, fulfill your destiny. Like the whole thing is that's what's supposed to be. But it's no, and even though Yoda's not, nobody's there to protect him. Nobody's there to help him. They in the first in Empire, sorry, New Hope, Obi-Wan, gets killed. So no, remember when he's running the, come on, kid, they like, shoot the blast doors. That he goes, no, he killed his mentor. He's trying to teach him the Force and everything. His old man and dies, so he watched that die. And then in Empire Strikes Back, you will learn. You will go to Dagobah. There, you learn from Yoda, the Jedi Master who instructed me. And he's like, when he first meets Yoda, it's like I'm looking for a great warrior. He goes, warrior? Warriors make not one great. It's like, I'm looking for like a real warrior. Like, if you're thinking warrior, thinking big, strong, warrior, fighters, everything. I'm looking for some little guy that's like he's not even a guy. He's like a little, what is it? I'm trying to think. He's whatever. It's like an elf or something. He's a nothing. The grass, a gremlin. I don't know. It's a movie too, but no, he's a nothing. He's a whatever. He's a little. with the cane. Mine, or I'll help you not. Mine. See, I'll do a whole discussion about mine. That's the way that people. That's why they become defensive because they think they own the women. Mine, guys. So anyway, but so he thinks he's a the light. Remember the light he shows him? He goes like this. He goes, I'll do it in a second. He goes like he goes mine, or I'll help you not. I had to do that. So yeah, he could have broken that. The whole thing is it's like a joke, right? It's the whole thing's a joke. But then because what he's doing, he's sizing Luke up. He's saying like, well, he's a Jedi Master. He knows. He's like sitting there going, he's saying I'm joking around with this guy because I want to see what his frame is. I want to see like what he could do, like how I could break him mentally or whatever. I need to know what I'm dealing with here. So he's like just joking around with him, like because I want to know like who, and he knows who he is. He knows he's Vader's son. He already knows that, like, but he's sitting there, he's like saying, I want to see what this guy, what this kid is about, and he goes, and then when he goes, and then when he gets frustrated, like here's the voice, and Yoda goes, I cannot teach him. And he's like, it hits Luke Skywalker, goes, oh my God, that's him, this little nothing, it's like, he will learn patience here, the Obi-Wan thing. So, no, turns around. He's too old to begin the training. Too old. I'm 47. I started training earlier this week. Too old to begin the training. And he goes, no, tell him, Ben, tell him I can, I almost hit his head on the thing. Tell him he says, Jedi Master, what knows? For 800 years I've studied Jedi. Father Ryan says, my counsel was betrayed, and that's explained in the prequels, the whole thing. But the truth of the whole the story is that this kid, he's already, come on, the Jedis are trained when they're kids, like the Spartan warriors. They build them just like a lot of these kids that are chess masters and chess prodigies. It's all the same. For like these people that become, I guarantee you, Bruce Lee started, but he's learned. I'm just taking one example, but I'm saying, I mean, these people, they started when they were like little, and they built this foundation and stuff. They didn't learn this stuff to try to inflict pain on anybody, to hurt anybody. They learned this stuff for self-defense, for like it's an art. It's something because not to be taken advantage of, because it's so easy in this world to go out there and to have somebody take advantage of you. And it happens when you least expect it, I'm trying to remember why I tied this to Star Wars and everything. Oh, so anyway, he saw like the Vader, the hand thing, Return of the Jedi, he threw it away. And he couldn't beat him. And like the Emperor, he's standing there, and you see how calm he is, though. Like, he didn't get all riled up. We all know the power. We didn't know, first off, you didn't know what the power of the Emperor was. You had no idea. The only takeaway of the power of the Emperor, like earlier, was what Yoda said to him. He said, be in his deathbed. Remember in the Dagobah, he goes, beware the power of the Emperor. He says, he's not, you got to understand, he's not like Vader, because like, that's even before he fought in Empire Strikes Back, before Luke fought Vader. He tried to give him a run for his money, but he lost, lost his hand, and then he got fucked up. But he did get some shots in, like he could hold his own against Vader. Like he was getting close. He was almost at that level, but he wasn't there yet, but the thing was on Yoda's deathbed, he goes, before he died, he just made sure, he goes, beware the power of the Emperor. Strong is he, that's just turn you to the dark side. If you don't be, do not. Oh, he goes, sorry, I'll do it right. He goes, do not underestimate the power of the Emperor, or suffer your father's fate. You will. And it's true, that you're fucking going, and then they always, of course, it's kind of similar to Yoda when in Return of the Jedi, the Emperor, he comes out of the Shell Tidarian, remember? And they all get down on their hands and knees. The Vader, I'm not sure, I think he does too. Yeah, they all get down. And this guy in his robe, in his stick, he comes down there like this old man, like a nothing. He's hood covered. He's like fucking with the stick. He can barely walk. He's going, and he's rise, my friend. And Vader gets up and he says, The Death Star will be completed as planned. They've done well, Lord Vader. And by now, I sense you want to continue your search for young Skywalker. He has grown strong. Only together can we turn him to the dark side of the Force. As you wish, everything is going as according to as I have foreseen. Starts laughing, and you would think like all the stormtroopers, everybody's there when the king laughs. Everybody laughs too. Everybody laughs too. But no, nobody laughs. Even Vader didn't laugh. Nobody laughed except the Emperor. It's like I know I talked to my friend about this, and I tried to figure out where's the logic when the king laughs. Everybody laughs with him. He's supposed to, but I guess in the in the dark side, the Empire's universe, you don't do anything unless the Emperor tells you to do it. You don't question his. It doesn't matter when he laughs. He laughs alone because he wants to hear himself laugh. If everybody else is laughing, he can't hear himself. So you're actually disrespecting the ruler. If you do anything except if he tells you to do, and he doesn't have to tell you anything because remember what he goes, I am the Senate, I am the everything. So what happens, of course, as we know in Return of the Jedi. I'm talking about, when do you know the Emperor's power? So what happens is, remember the elevator, or whatever, the doors open up, and Luke sizes it up very quickly. If you notice that, look at the scene. The doors open up, and Luke looks around, like he's trying to get his vision. Like Vader's right there. He knows the room. Luke doesn't know the room, but he's looking around real quick, trying to figure out, okay, well, what's here? Like what's I need to know where everything is, so I can use anything I need to my advantage. Like I have a good idea, like in his mind. I know he's not talking about it, but he's this guy, like I don't know what he's capable of, but I know he can. The Yoda told me he's fucking strong. He can do something. So Luke's handcuffed, and he shows it, and the guy turns around in the chair. The chair turns around, and then Palpatine goes, "You're welcome, young Skywalker." And then Luke's got the thing on, the handcuffs. He goes, "You no longer need those." And you can just see, like, he just lifts his finger and the fucking thing falls off. And in his mind, he's saying to himself, "Oh fuck," they're not like, he's not shocked, but he's like, "Oh boy," like this guy is for real. Like he's got, how strong, what is this guy capable of? Like what, like the power of God. I don't think so, but it's like very, think about it. It's like levels. It's like, think about this. If you're like a 2200 and then you go up against, like the 2800, you don't have to ask yourself. He's just more powerful than you, like for whatever reason. And so the handcuffs come off, and immediately he's like, he knows, he's saying to himself, this guy has got something like real strong. I hope he wasn't second guessing himself. But I guess his idea was not to try to battle him anyway. Like he didn't care. Remember, he goes, "Welcome, young Skywalker. You no longer need those guards. Leave us." And the guards leave. They're not entitled to watch I look forward to completing your training. In time, you will call me master. And he's like confident. He's like, "No, you're wrong. Soon I'll be dead, and you with me." Like he's like saying he doesn't care. Like he doesn't care. Like the warrior doesn't care like about that. I'll be dead, and you with me, because the whole thing is about the grand plan of things. Like I'm here to rescue my dad. And if I die in the process, I don't have a problem with that, because my rebellion is going to stop your empire. Like you're going to lose. That's all that matters. It's selfless, like it's a warrior. It's a great, like shows like he's assertive. It's got all the traits, it's just perfect, So Palpatine, he's heard it all. He's probably seen it all. He knows. He's like, perhaps you're talking about your little pitiful little band. I've got an entire legion of my best troops await them. Oh, the sarcasm. Oh, I'm afraid the deflector is where he goes. He goes, yes, you're thinking about the deflector. He says, the deflector ship would be quite operational when your friends arrive, he said the ship. He knows they stole the ship. He's not stupid. Remember, he knows. It's not. He's a think that leader. Like he's this force. He's like better. He's like 2,700 or whatever. You can't beat him. Because and he's like, fuck. Like I don't know. Luke's thinking about this. How am I gonna? What am I gonna do here? Like, because I'm not gonna be able to beat this guy. Like, he knows you're just there to try to. But he says, you think you could? Remember the thought. His goal is to bring his dad back, and he can't. Remember on the walkway on the end door, he goes, there's the lightsabers discussing. He's Vader honest with him. He goes, "Oh, you indeed are powerful, as the Emperor has perceived." And Luke tries to come with me, and he goes, he says, "You do not know. It is too late for me, my son." He calls, the guards, and the stormtroopers come. The Emperor will show you the true nature of the Force. He is your master now. And Luke says a classic, great line. He goes, "So my father is truly dead." Like it got him to think. Like you got into his brain. Like he walks up and you see Vader just like after the thing closes, Vader just like turns. He puts his hand and he's like, you could tell like what's going on in his mind. Like he's actually thinking. Like he got to his son. Like got through. There was an opening. Like there was hope. Like in there, he saw. He's not. Obi-Wan said, "He's more machine than man, twisted and evil." It's true. He's more machine than man, twisted and evil. It's true. It's true. But there was that little bit of like, it's his son. Like it's still there. Sorry, there's like I'm just passionate about it because it's like it's not about science. It can't be science fiction. There's a realism there. You're not going to find in anything in many movies. The redemption is incredible. Like you don't make movies like this really anymore. They do have, but it's far and few between. That really thought through emotional thing about like what the real story is. It's a redemption rescue. It's a transformation back. The guy he's able to put everything. So what happens, of course, he starts. Then comes like the Luke. He's looking out. There's like that window. He's looking through, and Emperor's like starting to rub it in. He goes, "Your fleet has lost, and your friends will not survive." He's like, he knows there's no escape, my young apprentice. And he feels. He starts. He goes, "Good." He says, "I can feel your anger. Just take your weapon. Use it. Strike me down with all of your hatred. Give into it." And he just keeps going, and he like an evil Yoda. He goes, "Each passing moment, you're becoming a more my servant." He's like really like and Luke said like he's what do I do? Like in his mind, he's thinking, and it's like he says, "I got to try to kill this guy. Like make me mad. I got to try. If I can kill him, then my dad, maybe he'll. I have to destroy. I have to kill this guy." But I know he knows he can't. He knows he's not going to be able to. And then he like turns and he says, "No, not yet." And he's watching, and then he knows there's the time. Then there's the moment, and he uses the Force, and he gets the lightsaber. He lights it up, and he goes to kill the enemy. But he knows he's not going to be able to do it. And of course, Vader comes in the block. Of course, that he's not going to be able to do it. The Emperor didn't have to do anything. He knows he's not. You're not gonna. You think he's gonna stand there like an idiot and like Snoke did? Not see it coming. He knows it's coming. That's what makes this stupid. The Last Jedi so retarded because the I know that's all, folks. But no, do you remember like the whole thing when the whatever, it's Snoke, the lightsaber thing doesn't see, but I don't want to get off topic, beyond off topic. So let's get, I want to finish the point about that. So he gets the lightsaber back, and then, like they cut the scene, and then the whole thing is about the reactor. Solo destroys the shield generator thing so they can go in, the Death Star. It's like, look, they're not going to wait to see if Luke gets out or anything. They're going to blow it up, like that's it. It's a mission. They don't hesitate or think twice. They're on the mission of the goal. Like, you guys know what my mission and my goal is. It's the same thing. It's like kind of like, but in the Empire, it's the bad people, and you're there, like you consider them bad, but it's a point of view. In their mind, the empire, it's a good thing. Like those people are taking, to them the rebellion is the bad guys. So it's all a perspective thing. It doesn't matter. But the movie idea is the resistance is the good against the evil empire. But it's all, if you think about it, it's all perspectives of how you look at it. I see many cars where they got pictures of like the symbol of the empire or Vader. They don't like the girl. They don't like anybody. They don't, they are the way that they are. That's the whole thing. So okay, so what happens? So what happens? So then Luke, and then the battle starts going. And he's solidly trained now. Like he's going to be able. And they just, you see, kicks Vader, and Vader goes flying, and then he tries to sympathize without, because he knows it's going to kill him, and he's like, I will not fight you, father. It's like Vader just wasn't having a bad day. Like he's overmatched now. He knows at that point, he knows like he's going to lose. And he walks up that steps, and they got that the creepy kind of music going. You hear the lightsaber. It is unwise for you to lower your defenses. Like the whole thing. Like he's telling him like he got into his. The whole thing is like, I don't want to kill you, my son, but he's it's already too late. Like for him, that's the only thing he could give him is a heads up. Like, can you imagine if some guy that wants to like beat you up going, come right up to you when he goes, unwise to lower your defenses, and the second the guy comes back to clock you, you knock him out, before he can hit you. So, like it's the same thing. They're giving you a chance before they destroy you, So, but in life, you don't wait for somebody to say that. In the real world, when they come to set the real world is the closeness. In a hostile situation. It's I know, because look, how many times in life people like get close to you for whatever reason, you don't, but again, if you're going out there, with the intent of trying to meet those single women, the closeness thing, is gonna, I mean, you better be able to have very, very quick instincts to size somebody up very, very quickly to see like if they're gonna try to, like, I know most normal people, like, it doesn't happen all the time. What happened to me a couple nights ago, but what it did, it's like it built my shield, of protection. That's all I'm saying. So anytime, look, and most people like that go to bars and nightclubs are not the smartest people in the world anyway to begin with. So whole thing is, if you see hostility and it's close to you, that's what I'm saying. Start the circular saw. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Like, look, I watched Master, the guy, like the second somebody came right at him, hand goes on the chest and it's to the neck, like immediately you're showing, and hopefully it's over from there. Like these guys just back off and it's over. Like you don't have to fucking, it doesn't need to escalate any further, like, but if they're coming at you and you don't do anything, guess what? Then you don't know what they're going to do. And they could do something. They could do nothing. You don't know. So guess what you're doing? You're gambling. You don't know. You're going to run, or just run for your life every time somebody comes at you like this. Run away from life. Run away from standing up for yourself and being a man. Okay. And see where that leads you in life. See where that gets you. Running away from everything. Well, at least you live. Yeah, you live. You think that's living? You think it's living? Running from everything in life, running from your fears, running from people trying to like step on you, running from whatever it is. So what happens? So back to Return of the Jedi. So the battle continues, and he hides. Luke doesn't, because it's and then the dialogue, the final dialogue before, he goes, Vader's get trying to, and he goes, it's a sister. So, you have a sister. He says, now Obi-Wan was wise to hide him from me. Now his failure is complete. Like he's trying to get under his skin, like he has. It's the dark side, like he can't. He says, if you will not turn, to the dark side, then perhaps she will. He got like under his skin, like to where like he broke his frame. Like he broke his frame. He had to, like, he had to, no, Darth. I think he said Darth. I looked it up. I was curious what he said. I thought he said no. I thought he said Darth. And the anger, the fight for his sister. Like, no, you're not going to get her. Like, the music. He got him against the thing, and then you see like he's and it looks just fucking again, fucking lightsaber until it, and then finally the final whap, like he beat him, like his arms got, and then the anger. You look at the face of Luke for a second, I can kill you now. I'm gonna kill you now. And good. The emperor chimes in, saying the evil savior, but it actually worked to counter against him. He didn't realize he's so stupid, like the emperor made a mistake, like he goes good, and immediately Luke goes, oh shit, this is my problem here. That's not my problem. That guy's the problem. It's like it's his fault. He's the reason for this. Like that's the guy I need to focus on. So immediately it's like the Vader. He's out of the equation. Good. Your hate has made you powerful. He says, now fulfill your destiny and take your father's place by my side. He said it like mad. The angry. It's the emperor. It's the evil. And Luke, he's holding. He looks at his hand. Like it's a machine. And he looks at his dad. His hand's gone. It's a machine there. And it all sinks in. The reality. He goes, no, fuck you. Like I'm trained by you. I'm a good person. Yoda. No, the good. And he turns off his lightsaber. Like throws it away. I'm getting to that in a second, but it threw it away. And because he goes, no, he says, I'll never join you. Like, and it's like, yeah, I'm a Jedi, like my father before me. Like the whole crowd was like, just, you're the greatest. You're perfect. And it's what you're all about. He tried to save his dad, but his dad wouldn't. He cut his arm off, like he cut his arm off, and he couldn't write anything. So it's so unbelievable. And he takes a deep breath, and then they cut the scene, and then they're going in to blow up the Death Star, and it's like everybody's thinking in their mind, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? And then comes the answer. He goes, the Emperor. I thought the Emperor would take off his hood, but he didn't. Like, and then he goes, he stands there. He raises up his hands. He goes, "You will not be turned. You will be destroyed." Boom! Like the fucking. And like the smoke is coming. The power of the Emperor, the power of the power, and it's like just fucking. And you see Vader like he's fucked up. Like Vader's fucked up. Like you can see like his whole body and everything. He can't do it. The Emperor goes, young fool. Now, only at the end do you understand. He actually knew a long time, but he didn't know it was gonna be like the force, like your feet talk shit. He talks shit as he's killing him. He's like, your feeble skills are no match for the power of the dark side. You'll pay for your lack of vision. He's getting fucked up. Father, please. Like I'm getting my ass kicked. Then it stops. He takes a break for a second, and he goes, and he thinks, now, young Skywalker, you will die. And he smiles. He knows. It's like the Emperor's like, I win anyway. I win either way. Just like he couldn't turn. I say, but like Luke's like fucked up. Like you can't. He's just too powerful. No one's coming to save him. Nobody's coming to save him. He doesn't have the person talking to him more shit. It's already done. It's dead. And so it's final. It's almost over. And he's about to die. And then the camera, the thing focuses on Vader. He's looking back and forth. And then the epiphany happens. The most the thing that you would think the least like, the Vader, after everything that guy's done, that's evil. Everything. He fucking goes and grabs the Emperor, and picks him up, like, and the music playing, the good music, like it's unbelievable, and the Emperor can't shut off the lightning, he can't shut off the power, like you think like he can't control it because he's evil, he doesn't know. He throws him down to shoot. He throws him down, and the whole thing goes. I know I talked about it before, but it's so exciting because it's an incredible thing. Like in the end, look about this. Look what happens. Like Luke, he's so passionate, so passionate, like about saving his father. Like he really believed he could, like he could. It was good. There's still good in him. Like I knew it. I had to almost die. I almost had to die to get it out of him. But it would have been worth it. It would have been worth it because if the emperor would have killed him anyway, then at least he tried with everything he had. And that's my point. That's all goes full circle to what I'm talking about here. It's all goes full circle to be almost willing to die for something that you want. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's not about some stupid thing, a movie of lightsabers and Star Wars and everything like that. No, no, it's about the idea about what this is about. The going after what you want. The people are not willing to like literally almost die for it. They're not going to because they're scared. It's hard. They don't want to take the hits. They don't want to do it. They know if I learn how to fight, I'm probably going to get hit. And I said, well, guess what? Yes, you probably are. But you've got to be willing to take the hits. Yeah. Stallone said that. Rocky Balboa, the last movie, not Creed or anything. But that's how you keep moving forward. If you don't, you wind up being 47 years old, and then the same shit happens to you like when you're 12 years old. The people are gonna the kids, they're gonna fucking walk right over you. All the way to the end. I told you, I have a friend, he's like 57. It happens, whatever it is, they tell him to jump, he says, how high? Whatever you say. He's a cream puff. He's the nicest guy in the world, but he won't do it. He won't do it. He will not challenge himself. I said I'm going to. No. I know like Luke. I'm gonna do like he did. I'm gonna fight for with everything of my being to try to get what I want. And it's that hard. I got news for you. It's that hard. Okay. For somebody that was raised, brainwashed to think a certain way, to conduct yourself a certain way, and everything. It's not my dad's fault, okay? He died, at a young age and everything. It wasn't a shock to me anyway. It's programming. That's what fucked me up. It's a lack of good mentorship. That's what fucked me up. It's people telling me, be careful. That's what fucked me up. You have to take chances, or else nothing's going to change. And you have to put the odds in your favor. When I was bodybuilding and stuff like that, it built confidence and everything. This is pretty good body. People would test you, and stuff. Guys, yeah, okay, so how are you going to defend yourself? You don't know how to fight. It's called self-defense for a reason. It's not self-offense. It's self-defense for a reason. Build a great body and everything like that. And what happened? Then an altercation happens. The only thing that good body is going to do is possibly insulate you from the pounding that you're going to take, if there's a pounding that comes out of it. You're going to be a punching bag that hopefully might not sustain tremendous damage because of all that muscle insulation. But you gotta have, it's better not, you don't need, it's an unnecessary, it's like an irrelevant insulation. You need to have two things to be able to defend fast and then offense. It's like a basketball game or something. There's people that they're specialists in everything, but the whole thing, you can't win the game without scoring any points. You can block shots and stuff, keep the other team from scoring, but if you don't score, you're not going to win. That's the offense. The defense is keeping it away from you. And it's going to happen so fast if it does. Hopefully it never does. But my point of all of this is just to know inside that, you know, you have that strength. That's what, like, the, you know, I know it's a farce, the Star Wars and the Jedi and having the Force, but in a way, that's your force. That force is that shield of protection around you that protects you, just in case somebody evil comes in. And it doesn't work like that, you know, in real life. Unfortunately, is you can't. You can't turn them to good. That's not, no. Your job is to stay alive and to protect yourself. And you don't do that by running, because running shows you're scared. It shows you're afraid of everything. You know how many I've gotten beat up? I didn't know how to defend myself. I took a couple hellacious beatings. Believe me, I know what it's like. I asked for them. I really did. Be a topic for another discussion. It was a long time ago. Going out trying to talk to women does not ask for a beating. I don't care what anybody tells you. They're wrong. You're talking to somebody that's with somebody else. Good. Somebody's guy is so ego is so fragile that he's not used to a guy hitting on his girl. He owns it. You're going to think you're the first one to try? Anyway, it's been like 2 hours, 45 minutes. So I hope you guys came away with something on this one. This was a good one. Get good at what I say, chess. Not the game, but defending yourself. Get good at playing in life. There's always going to be, there's better players out there. Yeah, the higher up you go, I mean, a guy that's like, you know, master, you go to like any park, he just destroy everybody. It's like, you know, Carlini or whatever. He's really strong. He loses too, but a 2200, you know, it's like, you know, in fighting is like, it's way more than chess. There's way more people. Like, you know, I wonder, you do a comparison. How many people take martial arts and, you know, the fighting thing, any type of fighting, compared to how many people, you know, are chess, you know, like compete in chess tournaments and stuff like that. It's a lot less. There's a big difference between fighting and hitting somebody than moving chess pieces on the board. You know, believe me, people don't like to get beat up. You know, but unfortunately, those people, what they did to me, the way that they fucking showed me that what's possible out there through intimidation, scaring me and everything, it's going to make me a better, you know, better player in the game of life. So I'm not going to give them any credit. I'm not giving them any credit for making me like this. I'm not going to thank them, you know, for turning, but you know what? They showed me something. And that's not the way, you know, you're trying to teach somebody or show them something, not through, you know, scaring the living life out of them. That's not how you educate somebody. But in a way, it awakened me. It awakened me to reality, what's out there, what could happen. Yeah. And if it happens again, I'm going to be ready this time. You know, I felt like I was pretty ready before, but like when you are trained, you start sharpening that blade. something tells me they're gonna, they're gonna think twice. There's something about, I don't know how they're gonna know, but maybe it's just the way that like they'll feel the aura of power, like when you really, and it's not looking at you physically or something, but it's like there's something that speaking without saying anything, like I don't know, maybe it won't happen, maybe it won't happen, but I know one thing. I know one thing. You put your hand in that circular saw, it's gone. Whatever in that grinder, it's gone. The next person that does something like that to me, every day when I practice, I'm thinking about that. And I'm going to keep training just in case somebody tries to put their hand into the grinder. I hope they never do. But if they do, it's gone. And I'm just going to keep getting better and better and better at this. And that's what you have to do. That you see what's out there, that these things can happen. Hopefully they don't. It doesn't have to be your whole life. I'm not saying, every day that's all you have to do is focus on fighting it. No. But it's definitely now a part of my life for the remainder of it. 100%. Now that I've seen what could happen. That's called learning. Called adapting. You have to give up something in order to get something. I'm not saying I'll never dance again or something. I didn't say that. But I'm not wasting time practicing dancing when I could be spending time training. I have too far to go. To me, like around the 2200, like when you watch somebody like Master Wong or whatever, it's something like that level. Don't have to know everything of everything. But you have to be able to execute like numerous ways. Just that you're not going to be a sucker. You're not a chump. There's people unfortunately, there's people out there looking for chumps. They're looking for like weak marks, targets. I'm not going to advertise anything. They don't need to know. The hand comes in there to try to get close. I'm sorry. They're invading your personal space with hostility. That has to be dealt with, not reasoned with. There's a big difference. Dealt with, not reasoned with. I say it very seriously. Most people will try to, they're going to try to reason with this person to calm them down, so they won't hurt me. Do you understand what that does? It projects your fear. It doesn't help you. You have to defend yourself. That grinder, whatever, it defends itself. It works, whatever. I don't know, you didn't say whatever. You have to stand up for yourself. And never push anybody around. Think about that. Defend yourself. Assertive. Do not push anybody around. Push yourself around. Push yourself around. In the gym, I push myself around. That's it. That's the only person that I want to push around is me. And if somebody else tries to push you around, you make them pay for it. Thank you. Warrior Jr. out. It was a good one. Yeah, passionate.